Hi, welcome to Z Reviews. If you don't know where you are, that's okay, this is the internet. I am an audio reviewer primarily, and what I need today is to build a new computer. Because on this channel 4 years ago, I built, maybe it's 5 years ago, I built my current computer, which is a 6700K with a GTX 1080, and it took me about 2.5 hours, and I didn't edit it. And today, I'll be building this computer, which there is an unboxing that has me opening every one of these parts. So that's sort of like the pregame, if you want a pregame before this build video, which will be unedited, except if I have to go take a crap or something. But that video will be linked in the description if you want to watch me take all this stuff out of its boxes and describe, that experience. This will be running a Ryzen 5900X, and that is a Radeon 6800 XT. And the case is a thing, and the power supply is a Be Quiet, and we're going to go all around. So this is going to be unedited. It's going to be very, very long. And I've got true wireless. I got the Sony 1000 XM4s in my ears, so that I can shut off the echo. In fact, I'm going to shut off the echo right now. Noise canceling. And we're going to do this front to back. So if you watch the previous video with me unboxing this stuff, and you watch this video, you can follow exact steps that I'm doing and buy the exact things that I'm buying, because everything will be linked in the description, and you could build this exact same computer. Hopefully it works like it all. So let's get some parts off of my kitchen island. I was going to build it here, but they've overused my island. So table, we have waifus on a cycle. Every 3 minutes we'll have a new one, which would be fantastic because it'll keep me from getting bored. Plus, I think I have something like 3,500 vertical 16:9 wallpapers. And I'm not going to do 3,500 reviews up here, so let's not waste those. This sticker, I will link to a sticker pack. Zeos linked to one of those sticker packs. I don't know which one it came in, but at some point I got to cut a hole there and plug and pluggy plug for something. I think we need to install the power supply first. Like, I haven't built a computer since the last computer I built 4 years ago. 4.5 years ago. I should get the exact date. I also have the issue that I bought these fans, these Arctic fans, and they're 140 millimeter, and I didn't realize that. And like, this case will handle 140s on top, but not on the back, so I can't fit a fan here, which might be fine, as the heatsink here, which is a Noctua, is going to be somewhere around here, and I could have the fan real close to this, so it might just be fine. Oh, by the way, this is going to be a real close fit. The sides and top, and literally, actually it's 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides of this case have been removed. They're over there in a pile. They're glass. We'll put them back together at the very end. After this thing boots, maybe I'll put the glass on it. So that's what you're kind of looking forward to. I think I have to disassemble parts of this case as well, because I got to get this out so that I can install the power supply. And then we have to do all the routing and wiring. I'm not that insane when it comes to like keeping the wiring neat. I'm not going to be a total slob about it. I should have done this sooner. The parts only just finished coming in. I think this is all the parts that came with the motherboard. So we're going to need these. These are from the fans. So let's put those over there. Let's bring the case to the work arena. Now, where to begin? It's always the hardest part. Let's look at the case. We're not going to mount the motherboard yet. We're going to get the power supply and all its associated stuff run through. This is the first case I've ever purchased that is actually recommended. Usually I buy like little tiny home theater cases and have to like cut the power supply wires to make them shorter, and it's interesting and annoying. This actually has all these beautiful pass-throughs here. Well, the active noise canceling is freaking out on these Sonys. It's occasionally letting it through. Humming, it doesn't like humming. We're gonna have to remove a couple of these to put the graphics card in. I haven't removed the plastic on this yet. This is the XL version of this case. It's the Lian Li 011 Dynamic XL with Devour whatever technology. Oh, we've changed up. We're gonna flip this. I highly recommend. Zeos in the future may have to put like a quiet ambient noise behind everything. Just keep people from losing their minds. Otherwise, or just play whatever music you like over the sound of me talking. The only screwdriver I've used to take apart and put together computers since the year like 2000. So set that to remove. Yeah, I'm going to remove this shield. That screws in there. Looks like it screws in up here. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What I need is a little tray to keep these in, because I have a feeling this isn't going back for at least an hour or so. And these little screws are just going to end up somewhere else. Okay. Was just double checking, because this case is pretty well put together, and if it could just unscrew one thing and then... It's good luck. It's good luck when that happens. Actually, I could fix that right now, because this thing has a little telescoping magnet inside of it, and that's all that holds the tip. And sometimes it pulls out, and it's bad news bears and flies everywhere. So I'm just gonna cram that back down with some blue tack on it. Blue tack, the best thing ever made. Now this shouldn't come out again for a bit. So everything else in this case has just been, anything that's taken off this case, I took off in the unboxing video. So you're not missing literally any steps. Wow, these are small little baby screws. Okay. This and these I'm going to move back to the countertop. Of course, it's not going to sit flat. No touch. So there's a completely modular power supply, which gets mounted down here. And then this whole bundle of crap, I'm tempted to just strip this out, because these are hard drive slots. There's 4 of them. And I have a NAS running on my system, so I don't need 4 hard drives sitting in this. In fact, all I have is one SSD, which we're going to install. Here are those trays. So we only need one of those. And then that's going to pass through. So it's kind of a waste of space, but we'll see. I got to unzip this, see what we're talking about. This is going to come in useful and handy later. Put that on the side. These are the front panel connections, all looped in here. We've got, Jesus, it's the motherboard on another computer. What is happening here? This looks like power, yeah, power reset, hard drive LED. This computer, by the way, will be going in the basement. Nice. This whole computer will be going in the basement. My current computer, in case you're unaware, actually sits there. It's attached to a shelf. We'll see that, I'm sure, at some point. And that computer's there is just a monitor and a USB hub. And my actual computing power is in the basement. It's just got a fiber optic HDMI running upstairs, which means it's dead quiet. That's number one. Number two, it means I could do VR directly next to the computer, which is way more important than having like a 4K monitor 20 feet away. Because you could buy extension wires for that, but you can't extend your VR. So this will be going on a shelf in the basement, glass out. And I bought a whole bunch of stickers to sticker bomb it, but it's got such nice glass. Jesus. All right, so we've got all the connection wires here. This is mounted to the bottom. What are you? I don't know what any of this stuff is. I also didn't read the instructions on the case or anything, so if I have to like fully on read that, I will pause the video. Nice wire tie, really nice actually. Everything is so put together, and I probably could have prepped this before, but this is what you're going to be doing. These real-time videos, like no one puts them up. Everyone's like, oh, I got to edit it. It's got to be watchable. That view time, which does matter, by the way. If you watch a video for 5 minutes and it's 30 minutes long, YouTube pretty much considers that you're not even watching it. Which is why when I make incredibly long videos like this, the YouTube algorithm tells me to go fuck myself. What is this? Because there's no switch or anything. It's just a weird black unit with SATA power. Oh, this is RGB. Looks like an RGB LED connection. Sure. Yeah, okay, because there's an LED strip. I tried to keep RGB the hell out of my computing all the time, and you just can't. Like, my RAM is RGB, and I didn't want it to be. And this case, to get the XL case, means it has to have the RGB strip. So we'll see how that works if I lose my shit. This is USB on the bottom, which is actually going to be very useful to have those, because this will be much more accessible than the ones up here, because they'll be so high up in the basement. And now we've got SATA connectors, SATA power. So these are probably just gonna get wrapped up, a lot of these. I'll figure out which one of these makes more sense to put my SSD in. Actually, that might be the first thing we do. Just mount the SSD, because it's gonna go in anyway. I'm using an M2 drive on the board, but only one. There are 2 slots on that motherboard for M2s, but I don't want to use a second M2 because one might take over a PCI Express lane and slow down my graphics card. I've heard it. I've heard people say it. Plus, I was able to get a 2 terabyte SSD relatively cheap. This Samsung, actually. This little baby. Does it come with any sort of mounting hardware? I don't believe it did. That means I'm going to have to go through the box and hope that I could find things. This is a 6-foot, by the way, piece of wood that I got from Lowe's before wood cost more than this whole computer. Oh, the total cost on these parts is going to be somewhere in the realm of like $3,100. For those of you who are keeping score, totally went in the garbage pail. It's fine. Extra rubber feet for the bottom, which I might actually apply. I don't know why this one's crooked, but the shelf this is going to be sitting on is sort of like narrower, and I'm going to have that much overhang, so I move these in. I could add that. More Velcro straps for that. I have smoothing on. I'm not sure if that's hurting or helping this video. I figure with the length of it, if I put some gentle ambient music behind it and some smoothing on, you might actually survive if you decide to watch this, the movie. And I've got IEMs in playing music because I just can't talk to myself in a giant echoey space for this many hours without any interaction. Well, here's all our screws. We've got 4 extra large girthy screws. I'm assuming that's for a fan. We've got a couple odd clips. I should really have looked in to see what the hell all this shit is for. We're just gonna pile it up on the very edge of the table. I shouldn't have to do anything that isn't directly inside that case. I'm just gonna spread out the things I need, and things that are garbage go in my pocket. Just like your waifu. Oh. Okay, pocket garbage. I'll eventually dump it out. This is very, very fine screws and standoffs. I'm gonna have to check to see what that's for. Weird plastic clips. You know what? I'm getting a white plate. Something shallow that I could just dump these in and then pick and choose the screws I need. Okay. There's so many. Oh my God. Might as well dump out my pockets now. Here, we'll open a fortune cookie for this computer build. This is the worst fortune cookies I've ever had in my life. They're not even fortunes, and I hate them. But here, you have to at least chew a little bit of it, or it won't count. The great and glorious masterpiece of man is how to live with purpose. The fuck does that? The great and glorious masterpiece of man is how to live with purpose. That's garbage. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Okay, so trays go in like this. They just slide on in there. Like that. And then this thing slides over and locks it in place. So our Samsung goes down like this, which means we need to line up our holes. Where are our holes? There and there. Got to come off a little bit. I have to pick the right screws. I believe it's these fine threads here. Come on. Jesus Christ. I may have to go downstairs and get my fine screwdriver also. Let's see if I can get one of them with this. Okay, there we go. One screw is good enough. I think I can get this without the fine screwdriver. You know what? It's gonna need a second screwdriver. And I would never, ever, ever recommend doing anything to do with PC building with a power tool. Keep that shit away. You don't want to strip things. You don't want things to go ka-chirk. Ka-chirk's a word. And, you know, chuck your motherboard into the other fucking stratosphere. This is a nice start to this. Since we are just, you know, this is just a mount. God knows how long this is going to take. I'm so out of practice, and frankly, this case with all its features and shit is just going to make my job harder to do. So, doing this, I want to say this is going to slide right in, but it just wants to be a pain in the ass. There it goes. That's felt like it's screwed in. We loosen that, it falls. You tighten it. That's locked in place. So the other bunch of trays I'll probably put back in here. I just took them out because I knew I wasn't going to use them right now. And this, yeah, this goes where? This way. Let me screw that door back in place. Another thing that, you know, the door doesn't really need to be there. What is this ambient noise doing? It's like it detects the fan blowing on me, and it's like... So that means I don't need any of these. This one's obviously shared, but I won't need this or this or this. So I can put these back into a bundle using that zip tie. Although I probably should plug all these in case I just want to add a... See, I could do that. I could just plug everything in case I decide I'm just like, oh, I just want to plug in an extra hard drive or an SSD. I just slide it in the back, and it'll all be wired already. It's a bad idea to do what I'm doing, isn't it? This is a thinking. It's like, do I want to commit to not having any of these hooked up and just have them sit here dead? The odds of me adding like another hard drive just out on a whim is super low. So I'm gonna zip tie them up for now. Okay. At least get them out of my hair and my out of sight, out of mind for a second. Because only these matter. Only those matter. Now, power supply is important, obviously. So getting that mounted up first is going to be stupid goddamn. Damn. I should do more reviews up here to use wallpaper. Is that good? We are looking at, my only concern with this is that the side that goes here doesn't have as many vents as I'd like. I'd like it to be just a fully open fan for airflow. And I don't think it is going to do that, so. That lines up, screw, 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 screw. I could use those screws. I think the power supply came with its own screws. I think. Wire ties. So many wire ties. Everything's out though. So here's the fucking disgusting bundle of wires. We're gonna have to figure out which one of these we need to run through that case. That's a quieting down. That's from the SSD. Anything that's in the computer already, I want to move the boxes away so I'm not confused and I'm not looking for accessories, so that's good. This is parts for the Noctua cooler. Don't fall over, please. Here's my doorknob thing, which I don't understand, like this coming with a doorknob thing to like, hey, too much gaming's going on here, bro. Better back it up. Put a sock on the door. All right, let's just grab a screw from the actual tray of screws. Where are the thick ones? We're looking for coarse thread for this. In fact, I'm going to double check that this is the type of screw we're going to be using. Yeah, you shouldn't feel any resistance. It just screw right in, and that's what that just did. So more of those coarse thread with the little locking ridges. Like she stole it. I have an interesting selection of music on the playlist today. Something's wrong with Bluetooth in my house, by the way. In case you're wondering, I want to get into like other topics while I'm just screwing things in. I had to stop using Bluetooth headphones for live streaming because they just wouldn't work. This was the platform I used for my Bluetooth. There was a Bluetooth sender here with a little antenna, and it used to work great all the way out to my driveway. And then something happened. Solar winds, 5G, you know, everyone got vaccinated and 5G kicked up. I don't know. But it stutters in and out. It's doing it right now. The IMs are going from that phone to my ears. So I don't know what the hell to even call that. Give them a little bit of like a... Don't strip your screws and don't scratch your paint off. So... It's very pretty. It fits in there nicely. So now we have drives, PCI 1, 2, 3, motherboard. The motherboard length is probably going to be, hi tubers, that's my cat Chewbacca for those people who are here and you're new. Hi, you old cat, you 16, go sit in the chair. I have that chair here for her. Come here. Keep daddy company while we build pewters. Old. Here we go. We'll occasionally brush her for good luck, and so that we can build up a nice static discharge as we touch all our components. Chewbacca, where's my wrist strap? Actually, isn't there a rule to have it plugged in and grounded while you're building it? I think that's a rule. I can do that. I have a long enough extension cord. I just have to go grab a power plug. That's a rule, isn't it, Chewbacca? I'm pretty sure that's a rule. So look that up in case you're wondering. As long as you're not actually like powering the power supply, just being hooked to earth ground is a benefit. And make sure you have a grounded outlet. Where the hell is my hole? Is what that girl said on the internet. Now I need a plug for that. We may have to go down the basement and grab one. So let's take a quick jaunt. This will be like a mild distraction as I show you the previous computer and the greatest basement that has ever been on the face of the goddamn earth. Excuse the mess. Home theater. And then here is speaker listening, workshop, and the computer that it's going to be replacing. Now, so this is like the hub computer. And I had not imagined replacing this soon, but I just happened to grab one of those 9500s after 5900s processors after months of like looking. Here's VR, is not quite ready to be set up yet, but you can see the lighthouses. So that computer is going to be going up on this shelf, which is only 10 inches wide. And the case is like 11.5 inches wide. So I may have to strap it also to the beams. And that computer will then be used for my 4K OLED that I'm going to buy for the sunroom for watching TV upstairs. We need... That's fine. We just need a plug. Actually, the Bluetooth IMs are still working. Oh, and then review space there. In case you really don't know what I do on this channel. You will. You will. Should have bought that screwdriver too. Nah, fuck it. Yeah, so by hooking this up to a power plug, the ground, the earth ground of this, switched off still, it should still count for earth ground, will redirect any shocks that we give it, because I am wearing shoes, I'm standing on a rubber mat. I'm standing on a rubber mat for fatigue purposes, not for weird, what's it called purposes. I'm going to be standing here for probably 2.5 hours. And I hate standing still. But that's what we need to do. So we're going to need a power plug back here for the LED drivers. We're going to need a power plug back here for one or both of these cases. That should be it. That should be the only drives wire we need. Let's see if I could sort these out a little bit. Move, move. Don't lose that screw. In fact, where the hell did I put... Is it still in my pocket? No, it's here. I would recommend that if I remember to watch this video long enough, Zeos, link these little magnets. These little cube magnets are so convenient and useful because you could just stick things to it. It's like, I can't pick it up with that, but just so I don't lose those, if I pick this up all of a sudden, it's like, they're stuck. Just keep a pile of them. They come in like 100 pack. So we can get rid of this box as that is installed as well. Ignore those. Never ignore that. This is our motherboard connection. You only get one of these. We're gonna have to use it. Fine. Now we have to look at all the ends. These are all the go into the power supply ends. One of these, I don't know how many of these are, the drive ones are all single slot. There's an adapter in case I need to use that, which I don't think I need to. We'll get to the rest of these when we're going for power supply for the graphics card. Are these all identical? Because I want the least amount of bullshit shoved behind there, and I think they are all identical. No, wait, this one actually has 2 big Molex. So since we only need 2 SATA connections, since we only need 2 SATA connections, one for the LED and one for that, that would work with this one, and then that would grant us 2 Molex, which are easier to modify, but we really don't need Molex, like, at all. And if I wanted to hook up the other side, the other bank, we would probably want to have one that has a 3rd. So these are just 3, wait, that's Molex as well. This is another Molex. So I could probably ignore those. And then these 2 just have, oh, this one has 4, so perfect. I don't need 4. There is a perfect one. Don't need one with 4, don't need one with Molex, need one with 3. And this is ideal. So now I'll be able to power this and the LED drivers, and that should be all we need back here. So let's plug it in. This is it. Now the question is, do I want to put it all the way towards the back and the bottom, or leave it up here so I have more room to get in and out of that hole? I could always move it. It really does not make a difference. So I'm going to put it at the top hole to begin with. If I let this loop, there's going to be just a kludge. In fact, these panels do come out also. I didn't even try to take these panels out, but you can get huge pass-throughs. I shouldn't need any huge pass-throughs. If you were going to put your radiator in there, you could do that. I believe that's what that's for. I'm going to put these back. I hadn't actually removed one until just that moment. Make sure there's no wires stuck under there before you clip it back down. Okay. So that's one. And we'll wire, once we get everything plugged into this motherboard that's gonna be there, we'll start rewiring everything. So now we're gonna definitely need this, the giant master motherboard wire, ATX main connector. I'm assuming the one that has, wow. So, motherboard. So this goes to the motherboard, and this side with the extra 8 pins goes here because it'll branch off to that. That's how I'm seeing this go, right? Are these the same? These are the same, and that has a 4-pin, and these are the same, and that has an 8-pin. And since there's no 4-pin connectors on this unit, powers of deduction have indicated that this goes here, and this goes here. Okay, so now this big bastard's gonna just hang out. We now need to look at the motherboard for a second and see what we got going on there. I've sort of covered it with things. Here's the RAM, the G-Skill Trident Z with RGB, bro. The Ryzen processor, the AM5. All the links to all these things will be in the description, in case you're wondering. Good luck, just I'm saying good luck. Motherboard, power there, which looks like it takes the normal one and then maybe 4. I don't see any other connectors except for here. there's a 4 and a 2. 4 and a 2. So something like this, that's 2. No, this has got to be graphics card. VGA, we're not there yet. We're still looking for a CPU here. Here's a 10 and 2 8s. VGA again. I only have one graphics card, so we can just put this in the pile of not usings. We need one VGA. What are you? VGA. How many VGA cards are there? Shouldn't need that many VGA cards. And then here's P8. So this is going to be more likely what we're going to be using. So CPU, P4. So this will actually clip together and go in. So I'm just trying to figure out, because we've got an 8 and a 4 on the motherboard itself, that means I'm probably going to have to run this to the motherboard and half of one of these to the motherboard. So we've got these two. This is going to be a wiring fiasco. Fiasco is the word. Yes, motherboard. It doesn't matter where I plug them in, because I can only plug into certain spots. It's not like there's a right or wrong way. I mean, there probably is a right or wrong way. These are both 5s. There's a 5 and there's a 5. So like, you can't screw that up. Now the PCI Express ones are below that. I'm just going to have to pop these out, plug that in. So I'm actually going to have quite a bit going through, because we need half of one of these. It shouldn't make a difference. CPU 1, CPU 2, and then P8. Those go there. This is going to stay in this thing. We might as well plug in the one for the graphics card. And our graphics card, let's see what that takes. I believe that takes 2 8s. Where are you? Yep, there they are. 2 8s. So there you go. One set of wires. We shouldn't have to break apart one and the other. So let's plug this thing into PCI 1, PCI 2, PCI 4.8, 4.8, motherboard, PCI 3 and motherboard. So we're good there. Plug this thing in. I'm going to remove this for a second. Don't go too far, please. The hardest part of making a computer that's actually decent, and I don't mean decent like in performance, I mean decent as in like looking decent. Look at that groundhog. Go away. You keep eating. I want to shoot him so bad. Ignore the toilet. I want to shoot you in the... If I tap on the glass, he'll go away. But he'll go back underneath my deck, which is not good. Wow. It literally lost Bluetooth connection from me walking over there. Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, this is way more than I was imagining I was going to have. So the fun's going to begin and then end, and then we'll make lunch. So none of these should need to be used. I'm going to move these completely to the other side of the table. Just get them the hell out of my face. I don't want to see them. They're just throwing me off. I don't need one of these as an adapter if you want to use a floppy drive. This we're waiting to reinstall. It's a reinstall thing. I probably won't be using, well, you'll be using this, but this is the noise adapter, low noise adapter for the fans on this. Don't need that, it's in the basement. Case fans. We should probably consider mounting the case fans now, because we're not going to mount the motherboard until the case fans are in now. The issue being, I was trying and attempting to avoid using the top of the case, since we're going to be so close to that ceiling, to exhaust, but I might have to. Since the front is glass, there's no exhaust there. And the side is glass. There's no exhaust there. The only place we're going to be able to move air is through these few holes in the back and the bits of things here and the top. So the top has to be used. Fans have usually an arrow on them in case you're confused. It says that way and that way. So that's the rotation and the direction of the air. It's usually always blowing towards the motor. That's all you got to know. This part is going to suck. This part's going to blow. I haven't used these Arctic fans yet, so that's going to be interesting. But I'm going to have to flip this over. Yeah, I was gonna feed them through. I guess I should just feed them through so they're not in my way, but I'm gonna put all the excess back here. How nice it is, just push them through. Because I might have to bring some through like up here. I'm just gonna tuck all this shit back in here while we stand this up. Is that my senpai sticker? There's a senpai sticker that has to go on this at some point. Thick. So the bottom, I don't think will even support 140 millimeter fans, which is kind of annoying. This does pop out if I take out these. Maybe it will. I gotta see something. Looks like we have 2 screws here. Don't move those too far and don't mix them up with the rest of them because you'll never find that right threading again. Come on out. One of the nice things of how this being backed up by a magnet is it pulls all the screws out. So now this should just pop out. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to adapt this to hold anything that would even be reasonably to this. Oh wait, that kind of lines up to 140. Yeah, it does. Okay, we can get 240 millimeter fans at the bottom and 240 millimeter fans at the top. And then I'll just have an extra one lying around. Okay, so we're gonna wanna pull from the bottom up and blow up. So if this clips back in here, we need to have it so that it's blowing towards the motors. So motor side up, which means we've gotta do this twice. Now, if you were really planned ahead, you'd know exactly where to leave these wires coming out. So this is up. I kind of want to have them going towards the back, and I'll run them through the hidey holes, which means I need them like this and this. So there, and then this unit mounts like this. So that's where the wires need to be coming out. So like that. And now we'll just have to get our screws and screwdrivers and make things happen. That's actually good because that just pops out. Darkness, how you doing? Since that just pops out, we may be able to install that after everything else is done, which would keep a little bit of bulk out of the unit. Here, all my screws. I'll face this direction for all of you. Weebs and future weebs. Garbage goes in pocket. So I do need those screws, don't lose them. I wish I could put them, actually no, that's another use of my amazing magnets. So now these specific screws that go to a specific spot on that rail, I can just stick it right there. So now we won't lose them. I only have 2 of these left though, so we're gonna have to be real cautious. Real cautious. So now, these spread out, looks like we can mount there, and they may have to move at some point if we have any sort of clearance issues with things on the bottom. We shouldn't. And I don't have to squish them together. We'll give them a little bit more spread. A little more spread. These are very, very thick screws. Make sure this goes in properly and actually locks it down. Yeah, it does. I would prefer if there was some little washers on these or a little bit broader head, but we use what we got. I could slide that over a little bit because it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. I'm just sort of getting these 8 screws in here. I'm currently listening to, in case you want to search it out on YouTube, Bon Iver. They did a Jägermeister sessions at Air Studios in London, and it's just a 20-something minute segment, straight through like 5 or 6 different songs, and it's recorded so wonderfully, and you can only get it on YouTube. So there's not like you could find the FLAC of it. There's no FLAC of it. I literally ripped the YouTube audio. And it's one of the most finest things you could play on any speaker system. Like, I don't care if it's on the YouTube audio. YouTube audio, like YouTube can sound good. I mean, I wouldn't do my sound demos if I couldn't sound good. So yeah. Fat groundhog bastards making fat groundhog children living under my fat groundhog veranda. That's, you know what? If I had to change the name of this place from like Zeos's house to like a ranch, I'm gonna stand up on his little hind legs. It would be Fat Groundhog Ranch. That's what it would be. And I'm just gonna slide them as far as they go that way and then tighten this down. Good. As long as I can get this in with the motherboard in place, I'll just leave this on the side for now. Actually, I could stick the magnet to this as well. Beautiful. This is beautiful. So this is automatically filtered. There is a filter mounted to the bottom of this, which I can actually take out while we're flip 6 3 hole, kick 6 3 hole. The motherboard mounts all the way up here. What am I talking about? Yeah, I could put this in tomorrow if I really felt like it. I'll add it to the glass and other accessories that don't need to be in right this second. So now the top fans, unfortunately, are a little bit in my way. I don't want to be doing screwdriver things with them in place or without them in place. So let's grab another 2. And it's gonna be the same deal. I'm just gonna screw them in. I don't know why I keep not facing the computer. That's obviously the center point of this entire review. If you wanna know where to get wallpapers like that, Pixiv has all the artists. Like the actual original artists live there. They live in Pixiv. So have fun. So now if you're just confused about how you should orient these, since we're going motor up, it's motor up, it's motor up, it's push up, 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 air, up, air. Will this stick? So I'm gonna do the same thing where I run the fans back there. I'm trying not to bend the actual, I'm trying to grab it by the case. So this will fit 3 different sizes of fans. I don't know what that middle size would be. We can't fit 3 also. If you were 120s, we could fit 3, but we're not gonna be able to fit that many. I'm gonna start with the very, very front one here. Come on. One. I even have Windows on a flash drive already, which I had to buy a flash drive. I realized I haven't had a working, reliable, good flash drive in like eons. Is that a measure of time? It is. My only concern with the one on this side is it may get in the way while I'm trying to mount the CPU cooler. I mean, I don't think I want to try to get the fan in above the CPU cooler because I'm not quite 100% sure where it's going to sit. And it's going to be bad if I have to adjust. I have to loosen this one up a little bit. Hold on. It's got to slide like that. There we go. I'm going to be interested to see what happens to my videos because these videos I record are all 1080p 60. I don't do 4K. I'd have to get the newest GoPro, the 9. I'm using 8s. And when I encode 1080p 60, it recodes using virtual dub because I'm old school. But it just recodes it, does a basic color correction in time and like water stamp. And it goes at about 20 frames a second. So if I make an hour-long video, it takes 3 hours to recode it. I didn't put that wire where I wanted to put that wire. That's what happens when you don't pay attention, you fuck up. It shouldn't matter. If I pop this panel off, I just run the wire over. I'm not gonna be super concerned about it. I've learned to control my OCD, which is great news. Great news. Like you just don't care. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. So now that wire's going that way. So this wire's gonna they're actually gonna be in the same orientation, which will make me happy. But yeah, you can't fit a third one here. And I could slide this anywhere along here because it's gonna do the same job. It's just me concerning myself with this goddamn massive air cooler and figuring out where it's going to mount. I guess it really will be there. It'll never be high enough to bother this. I just want to make sure I don't need to get access in here, that this is going to cut off by putting a fan in place right now. I'm trying to predict, it's like chess. I don't know how to play chess, but I know you have to think like 6 moves ahead. That's what I know about chess. I could feed this through. Actually, these are all going to get plugged directly into the motherboard anyway, so. Run the Jewels is currently playing. All right. Since these are on slots and can slide completely, I'm either gonna, I could either put it this way and it could slide back and forth, or I could put it this way and it could slide here and there. I feel like the further back we go, the better it will be for removing any latent heat that pops up. So I'm gonna go towards the rear. I'm just gonna hang there for a second. Yeah, I need to get better at this game. Something just fell off there. Screw. You think we would have figured it better? Like, I love the original Noctua system for mounting fans with the little nipples you pulled through. The little silicone nipples that you shoved it through and you just pulled it and they got skinny and you let go. And a big fat rubber gasket and prevented all sorts of vibrations from going on. Whoop. You also don't want to lose a screw. You want to keep an eye on screws. If you lose a screw, it just flops in your case and then you forget about it and it's like behind your motherboard, that's bad. Loose screws are bad. Loose screws and loose women. Okay. So this should be the last fan we have to mount. That other one's going to just sit somewhere. I'll always find a use for a 140 millimeter quiet fan. In fact, I have a couple of vintage Japanese amplifiers that don't need to be that hot. Just gonna cool them off. So this will just be loose enough to slide. I'm not gonna fix this in place. Yeah, there you go. Until I know it's not in the way. You're done. Figure out another place to mount you later. Boom, boom. Oh, don't put it on things. If just put it on things and it rests on the fan, it'll screw up the bearing. We are almost ready for motherboard, which is a thing. And of course I haven't like read anything, so it's fine. Once the motherboard's in place, we will be able to flip it back over on its ass and go through that side and figure out what we're gonna punch through these holes. Yeah, this is gonna stay loose until we figure out where this has to slide. That's pretty much fixed in the front. That can be installed later. In fact, I'm going to take the screws that I magneted to the bottom and I'm just going to put them there. Super fucking useful. I know magnets in computers, people are like, no, Zeos, no, you can't do that. But it's like, it's all right. It's a small little magnet for screws. We don't have anything else going on here. I really didn't need to have this plugged in at this point yet, by the way. There's no motherboard, which is when the real like, oh fuck, starts. So, and I'm going to have to lay this thing on its back. So I don't want to have all these wires messing with it. I also don't want to have all these wires crushed on the table. Although I am using yoga mat here, which helps in case you have a wire that's under here. It doesn't like smash the wire, it just bends the yoga mat. There are some thin ass wires here that I don't want to mess up too badly. Sort of give this a flip. 6 3-hole. Okay, good. Actually, these legs are going to be the thing that mess up the case the most. Okay. We are now ready. I'm going to just feed this wire through the top hole. Get that out of the way. This shouldn't be in the way as long as it's there. We have our motherboard mounts. I think it's a standard. All these are already in place. The old days used to have like 9 different standards. We don't need any more of these standoffs. There is something down here. I don't know what that one's for. There's, oh, this is for just shorter motherboard or maybe longer motherboard. Should be okay. The back plate is built into this motherboard, which is automatically worth all the money that it could ever be worth. This is the X570E gaming ROG Strix. Having everything be gaming too is a little bit like off-putting. I think this comes out to mount the M2s, 1, 2, and then it lifts. The M2s goes under there. I should check that. I think I want to put the M2 in before I mount it, although no, because I'm not protected by, because as soon as this mounts to the case, then the points here that we're screwing into, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there might be a 6th one back here, 7, 8, 9, will ground to the case, and the case is grounded to the power supply, and the power supply is grounded to earth ground, which is this. So we want that. We want that very much so. And all these things have like peelable labels, which is like great, but if someone doesn't see that, you're just gonna have plastic melting on your stuff. Peelable label, peelable label, peelable label. I may have to actually go downstairs and get that finite screwdriver after all. Or I could look at the manual to see how the hell do you install the... That's not the manual I need. The manual I need is in the box under the goddamn motherboard. All right, let's get this in place and then we'll worry about it. Because even if I get only a handful of screws screwed in, there's nothing we have to do to the back of this because we're using an AMD chip. Intel, you have to screw things to the back of your cooler, or the back of your board. We line up perfectly. That's it. It's done. Is donezo. The screws we're going to be using are also coarse thread, but flat, not those violent locking ones. So we'll just need a couple of those. Pick one, this hole first, I guess. Wait, are we going to use those? That would have been the one I would have used. Actually, we've got a couple extra standoffs, so let's just hand thread it in there and see if that's where we want to go. Oh no, I think they want fine thread. They want more of the fine thread, don't they? Yep, I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. Fine thread cap screws is where we're going. That's why you don't force it. Like you give it like a gentle turn, and if it's like, this feels like there's something wrong, back the fuck up. It's okay to be wrong. And it's just skipping now. This thing has seen better days. It has seen better days, but you know what? It's gonna fucking see all of them. Having that motherboard shield built in, worth the $370 I pay for that fucking motherboard. Which I want to point out, I didn't want to spend $3 grand on a computer, but COVID happened, and then 2021 happened, and then crypto happened, and it's like, what the fuck, world? Like the amount of fight I had to put into buying that 5900X was like, I haven't worked that hard at like exercise. 4 tabs open, constantly refreshing. Why won't the thing work? Oh my God, different browser, redo it. Oh my God, where's it? Please click the things that are all street signs. Verification failed. You're not a human. Like, oh my God. 50 minutes, 50 minutes. My heart rate's never been higher for 50 minutes. I just wanted a processor. If I couldn't get the processor, I wasn't gonna build this. Once I got the processor, it was, all right, kick this shit into high gear. I actually bought the motherboard, the graphics card from a friend who bought it for crypto mining 2 months earlier, and then Ethereum went to shit, and he's like, I can't afford it. I did it light usage. I only finished putting it together X amount of days ago. Would you like this thing for the exact same price I paid? I'm like, yes. Because that 6800 XT at the time of this recording is worth like $1,700. And I paid $11 for it. It's nice having a table you can walk around, you don't have to spin anything. I recommend it highly if you could put this in the middle of like a space. This is basically like a 2-desk system. Of course, there's just a giant pile of hardware over there. No. And then you walk over here and you bring it to the party, which is this thing, is the party. Yeah, that's cross threading. This flashlight used to have lights on it, by the way. I should see if I could change the batteries out. God, I hope there's not batteries in this. No. This is when flashlights were men, and men were men, and men were flashlights. Okay. We now have all the visible screw holes filled. I believe there's going to be another one under this, which we have to get a fine screwdriver back down the basement, because I'm an idiot. I was gonna say asshole, and I was gonna say idiot, so I'm an idiot. So far, the only tool we've needed so far has been screwdriver. Various types of screwdriver, but screwdriver nonetheless. There's fine screwdriver, there's even finer screwdriver, and I'm actually gonna bring up this very small flathead screwdriver, because even if you're using Phillips head screws, a very small flathead will fit in the Phillips and turn it with more torque than that will. Of course, there's no point on a flathead, so it tends not to skip out of the joint. Just don't over torque or fuck up, but you go and stab things. All right. These should be captive screws. If I was building this as a motherboard manufacturer, that would be a captive screw, and it seems like it is. Rodrigo and Gabriella are now playing. It's fantastic. Make sure that's not everything. That one's not captive. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take that one out or not. I'm gonna do my best to not lose that one. That comes off. Well, we certainly got the cover off. Okay, you have to take the cover off. This is fucking weird. That gonna fall out? Okay, leave that together. You have to take the cover off to get to the captive screws that cover the M2 mounts. That's fucking weird. Oh, these are the built-in heat sinks. That's what these are. So when we install our M2, we peel this off. Yeah, they're just captive little screws. Okay. So that'll be number one. Number two, I'm gonna put the one up here just because, so I don't have to actually unscrew this. This can go back down because we're not doing the second M2. Tight, 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 tight. There's our little heatsink on our Northbridge, I think. Or is Northbridge, Southbridge still a thing? I don't even know. I don't even know. It's annoying that you have to take this off. Oh, and you better take this wow. Wow, motherboard manufacturers, you have really high hopes for your fucking patrons, because that is the vent intake for the fucking fan, and it's covered in solid plastic. You know how many people, I guarantee you it's 10%, don't take this off. And it's like, I don't know, my computer's not, being good, Bill. Fuck. Peeling that shit off right now. Fuck, I would just remove this. Do I even have to put this back? I have to put it back so it's actually the top part of the blower assembly, but I'm tempted to go downstairs with a spade bit and just go, fuck. Although this will act as a sort of like air filter to keep this from getting blocked, but there's aesthetic, and then there's like, why are you doing this? People are dumb. All right, let's go mount the M2. And the M2 I got is a Western Digital Black SN850 NVMe And this has 7,000 megs a second read-write, which is going to be great while I'm browsing the internet. It's exactly what I need for that high skill, high temp. I'm actually going to peel off the labels here. I'll put that down because I want this to have direct contact with the heatsink. Oh, that's what those are for. Okay. Because there's different length NVMEs. Place that back down. That's what those stands are. See, we're putting this together in our heads. This is to attach the NVMe to the motherboard. Really short screw and a standoff. So, shit, I don't have a fucking, what's it called, a wrench for the standoff of this. Wait, is this too long? Huh. No, that was case. That was case. So that means that there might be something in the box that's the NVMe standoff. Now I feel like I'm panicking a little bit. All right, move this. Move the screws on that. This is the heatsink cover, which I have to unapply that. The NVMe can just sit right next to it. Don't touch. Ground out occasionally. As long as you have this plugged in and off, even if nothing else is plugged in, it will still ground you. Remember that. Nothing could be more comforting than just touching this every once in a while. Okay. We've got antennas and things and wow, that's great news. Is it just, it's got to get screwed in place. Oh, I'm supposed to unscrew it from here? No. Oh, fuck. This is case screws. These are all case things. These are not specific motherboard things. These are all specific motherboard things. Going through Wi-Fi antenna in case I want better Wi-Fi, because I'm wiring directly. It's my basement. I just ran a bunch of wires. Here's a temperature probe. We'll figure that out. Stickers. Everyone needs stickers. That is to extend to the RGB control hub. I'm going to actually read the book a little bit. Wait, there it is. Okay, I've saved the day. Because it needs to just be a short little stubby one. These are all silver. I'm going to put them in the same tray as the... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to screw it into the hub. Like this. And then I'm going to install it where the second one is that I'm not using. Because I will lose, there's no chance in hell that if I need to install for some reason in the future a second NVMe, I'm gonna know where this thing is, this little brace is. So I'm just gonna install it. I'm just gonna put it in place. Actually, see if I can start it by hand. Yeah, it's not gonna take up any space or be negative. It's not gonna get loose. I'm gonna hand screw that in place and then put this back over it. That dumb. Yeah, a smaller, more finite screwdriver is definitely a benefit for parts like this. Nope, missed it. Okay, so now at least I know I won't lose that backup one. Now this has to go in place more properly. And I think it's using the full length, so... I'm just going to hand tighten this. So now touch ground, pick up. There's only one way this goes. In, down. Little baby, the smallest little tiny little baby screw. Actually, you know what else you could do? Where are those? So if you have these little tiny magnets, and you have a little tiny screw, you just stick it to your screwdriver near the front, and that should magnetize the screwdriver temporarily. It just has a magnet near it, so don't let it get stuck to other things while you're doing this. And I'm not super worried about it erasing the NVMe or anything. You can magnetize your screwdrivers also, but that can be a world of hurt. That's it. I'm gonna take that off. Put that just there. It's bright and silver. So now we are ready to reinstall the heatsink. We're done with this box. All this stuff. Keep your shit organized. As organized as you can. And I probably want to keep this label for the M2 in the case. In case I need to, say it explodes and I need to get my warranty on it. That's where it is. Just put it right back on that. I should have noted more violently which direction this was. It's this way because it continues where the lines are, but I should have noted that a little bit harder in my brain. So now where am I gonna go first? I guess I'm gonna try to screw, I'm holding it above the unit until it, I'm not tightening that all the way. I want to drop this, because I don't think you're gonna be able to move this more than once. Come on, straight down, there we go. Now tighten that, now go back and tighten this. That's tight, now go back and tighten this. That's it. I hope that's touching. Should be touching. Okay, we could put the shroud back on with that stupid fucking covered plastic hole, you idiots. I'm not bitter or angry at anything. I just don't like trusting people that much. There we go. I knew I'd figure it out. I'm gonna do the same thing where I put the magnet on there. The closer to the front, the more magnetically charged it'll be. Very lightly tighten that, just so it stays, and then put the other one in and tighten that one down fully. And then go back and tighten the first one again. Same thing with car tires. If you don't tighten one and then go to the next one, you tighten them mostly, and then you go around in a circle. I'm gonna leave these actually on here. Both of them. Okay, so that's garbage. This is garbage. Those are in massive case. Actually, don't need any more fan screws. Let's move them off. I'm gonna try to keep this area as not full of crap as possible. I'll place those there just so I could see them. Next. Oh, God damn it. Was there a motherboard hole there? I didn't even notice. Did you even notice? The fuck? And it would be under the goddamn M2. Which I'm not, I'd have to dismount the heater. No, I'm not, no, it's fine. Fuck. It's fine, right? Fuck. You're all gonna yell at me, aren't you? Zeus, it was probably a mounting hole, right? Actually, it'll be right there. It wouldn't be, it'd be in line with this. I gotta take the little fuckers off again. Slide the magnets down. Is that another piece of plastic? Yep, there's a hole for it. Son of a bitch. Okay. I would have killed me, my whole soul. That's a center one. Like, you can't miss the center one. Although it would be mostly like that area of the motherboard we pressed down because the heatsink's going to be pushing this way from gravity. So it actually isn't like going to lift it off. But yeah, I'm glad I figured that out. Okay, good. Put that back. Holy fuck. Magnets, bro. Oh, the plastic. There's another piece of pretty plastic here, look. Because everything needs to be so pretty. Or you could just sell me a motherboard. Like, I wonder if I would almost switch to server motherboards because I know they're not going to have RGB and Republica Gaming and they're going to come with door. They're just going to be, you know, pieces of equipment that you use. I think I'm growing out of this whole. I think the PC gaming culture as a whole is preventing most people from. It's so weird because it used to be computer people were nerds and no one wanted to be nerd, and then nerd culture got kind of cool. But then we've been pushing it so hard with this Republica Gaming shit and Major League Gaming, and it's like, now you're nerds again. And I don't want to be part of that. It's not the cool kids anymore. The cool kids are the people who literally just like live in the mountains and swing axes all day. At least in my perspective, I don't want to be for Republica Gaming. I don't want LED fucking headsets and shit. No. So, get a little 80mm fan in there. So, yeah, that's going to be able to move wherever I need it to lock in place. I wonder if I should block. It probably would be beneficial to block the spots that don't have a fan on it so that it doesn't pull down and shove up. Why do I have to do that? It doesn't look like shit, is the question. Because I don't want to have, this is blowing up, I don't want to have it pull down from the hot air. It just recycled. It's got to be closed. All right, so look how easy it's going to be to put these fucking plugs in. They're not at the bottom of the case. It's going to be, I'm not putting the fans here was a good decision. Because just to give you that extra inch, I don't need something here. Motherboard power can come out right here, make a quick U-turn, but it's got all this space. Like all of this is free space. This is free real estate. RAM probably has to go in before the CPU. Actually, no, CPU goes down, then RAM goes in, then heatsink for CPU. Peel this shit off now. I don't give a shit. So many little. I thought these had plastic covers on them, so they don't. Batteries looks good. Anything else got a stupid plastic cover on it? Dumbasses. No, I think that's RGB, of course. Big piles of that. Ooh, what you say? Okay, this can go over here. Garbage, 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 garbage. I actually don't need the motherboard right now. Manual. I think I've worked myself past that. This is not French ginger liqueur. This is water in a French ginger liqueur bottle, or that's what I tell people. Oh yeah, okay. So, CPU. Or do I run the wires first and then CPU? Because it's all a matter of how much risk do you want to assess. Because having the CPU not in there means that if I fuck up, I don't fuck up the CPU. It's over there. But if I do put the CPU in, then I'm going to be doing all this other shit anyway. All right, let's run the power wires. Let's stand this thing up on its end. Let's get all the power everywhere it needs to go, because we're almost done. Like, this doesn't seem like we've been doing this for like very long, but this computer could turn on as soon as I go plug, graphics card plug, CPU, RAM, power. Everything else is installed. The issue is that it's going to take, an hour to really sort the cables correctly. So now that that's mounted, we're good. These things have to get plugged in too. All right, we're going to shove things in holes. That's what we're doing. Right now is the hole shoving. It's hole shoving o'clock here on Z Reviews. Oh, I'm going to put this sort of like on an angle. Oh my God. All right. Might as well get this through the hole. One. Okay, so just give me all your bullshit. Echo, kitchen 100. Echo, kitchen 100. A little bit more light. I was so tempted to get the white case. I would have gotten the white case if,
quite sure how to help you with that.
If it came with smoked glass. But the only way to get the smoked glass was with the black case. And I'm like, black and silver. The silver looks good. The white With the clear would have been nice, but if I would like the white with the smoked glass, and that would have been my choice. So it was not. This is not my full choice. I feel like getting the motherboard connectors down and through is probably going to be a priority right now. What the hell is that? Is it good that I don't know what that is? I've never seen that connector in my life. Do I have to read books? I hate reading books. Books are the worst. That USB-C, because it's omnidirectional, is every part of a USB-C omnidirectional? I haven't installed a motherboard with USB-C in it. HD audio, so this is for the front. All right, so this is all this, I'm assuming, is front panel connector stuff. So we got to move this down there, which means we're going to have to move behind all this crap. I'm pulling back the power supply for the motherboard, or the motherboard power cable. What is our best bet for, so eSATA there, that's all eSATA, all motherboard stuff and anything else through the bottom. And then the top, I guess that slot right there for those. And you have two choices. You could either very meticulously go through the back and tie it up and then place it through, or you just shove it through, plug it in, and then deal with the fucking rat's nest that you have created in the back. Yeah, it's basically what we're going to be doing. So SATAs, which this is the only one that really matters, has to go right through here. And we only need like 2 inches of wire, like literally that, it's done. So all this extra has to be dealt with. We're just gonna have a lot of extra to deal with. We could just leave it in a giant fucking bundle too. Like, it doesn't matter. Hi, battery death, because I had a battery pack in my pocket, but it wasn't turned on, and now the battery pack on my pocket's turned on, so now we'll have uninterrupted service until I fill out the card on my camera, which is 2 more hours. Can we finish this in under 2 hours? That's a cute one. Yes, I believe we can. By the way, I'm going till we load Windows, till Windows has booted. So if you're not here to go all the way to that, if anyone wants to give me timestamps, I hate doing those. So, all right, front, 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 front. All these are front panel connectors, except for this one, which is already going down, being whatever the hell it's being. This is also front, because this is USB. God, there's so much of it. Up. I'm just gonna slam everything into the front, and then we'll pull it back when we don't need it, because that's the best way I could think about doing this. Take them one at a time. Two. So that's 1, 2. This stays. Never figured out why they still have 2 of these wires. Like, why not just make 1 wire or make 2 connectors? I don't know. That one just bothers me. There. The weird one that I've never seen before, that's USB-C. Come on. And then HD audio. Which are these silver cables? Are they braided? Okay, that's the entirety of the bottom. Straight line, just fuck it. Now we're gonna bring, I'm probably gonna bring the motherboard cables over. These 2, not the big connector. The big connector is gonna be in the way a bit, but these 2 are the motherboard direct power cables. And God, I wish there's a hole there that I have to just, all right, you first, one at a time. I'm breaking my own rules by doing like 2 at a time. I'm also trying to make sure I don't like loop it in the way of something else that I'm about to pull. Grab, pull. There's another reason I don't have the processor in, because then I would just, that wire might just slam down and hit the processor. Bad news. This is last. This basically stays back here. This doesn't have to go in front at all, because this is the drive power. The M2 gets powered with a motherboard, so that doesn't need anything. You are VG, wait. Am I hallucinating? Oh yeah, it's 2 VGAs. Okay, here's the 2 VGAs. This is graphics card. So these are going to basically come out. I can bring them out the same area as, because the VGA connector is all the way in the back, it's all the way in the front of the card actually. So bringing it from under the card up. So I'm going to probably put those through the same hole that the motherboard connecting stuff is going through, because it's going to come up anyway. I could bring it here. Through the SATA one. I'll bring these through the SATA one. So let's see, we got to go across this, under this, over this. This is the shit. This is the shit that saves you headache, is when you know what hole to use. A giggity. There, all the way through. Okay, so now this stays back. The only thing that's back here that has to go forward is the main connector for the motherboard. So should I just run that? Should I loop it and run it? There we go. Just sort of like back it up, back it on up. Off the top. All right, that's everything. Everything else stays. This gets plugged in back here. These are SATA, and I can just put them through and run them. If I ever need to install it, I'll just open it up, because number one, I don't want to not know on the front which one is the one that's plugged in, because it'll be the only one plugged in. So that's a positive thing. I want to keep facing the TV for sanity reasons. Okay, there, that's tight, that's tight. This is still off, even though it wouldn't do anything if I turned it on. So we'll work out from the top. I don't believe CPU 1 or CPU 2 makes a difference, because I'm only using half of it. So I guess we'll use CPU 1. Where's my clip? The top? Yeah. So this is basically going here, and then the other one's just hanging out. This is very dark, by the way. I need to lay this on its ass, don't I? Yeah, I need to lay this on its ass. So let's just do that again. And thanks to the magic of yoga mats, Kazan AI. Thanks to the magic of yoga mats, I'm not worried about crushing the wires too badly. This is gonna go right here. Actually, yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's an order I want to plug this stuff in, and there really shouldn't be. Where's that weird connector that looks like it's for, oh, there it is. Oh, that has to go there. Okay, that one that I didn't know what it was, this one, has to plug in there. So that's got to go back out and get brought in through this one. Everything else should just be easy peasy. Uh-huh. I say that as I stare into the nothingness. Oh, do I not have enough space? Oh, this motherboard must not have 2 USB headers. Or it does, but they're separate, so I can't actually use them. USB here, and then this one should go somewhere else, but there's no plug. It's unpluggable. Wait, which one was this? Because there's 2 USBs here, 2 USBs here. I guess I have to buy a USB card? That's stupid. This one says node. I don't know what that means. HD audio. You can always tell HD audio has 1 pin missing. So it's that one. AA front panel. Something audio front panel. Put that in there. I'll probably never, ever in a million years use that, but I'm plugging it in. So since this one cannot actually get plugged in, I kind of want to make sure these are the ones that are in use, not this one. So I may have to check, because these are the same. Gently pull out, rock, baby, rock it. These are the same, so I have to pick which one of these I want to use. There are other USB headers here, but they won't fit 2 of these. So I'll have to pick. So that one's got to get pulled back. That one's got, these got to be chosen between, I think the one that has the longer wires is probably the one that's the bottom, and the one I'll probably end up using, because that's going to be real up far next to the ceiling. This, however, has to be used. This is the power plugs. One of these will have to go back. Power LED plus, minus. I love how everything's still the exact same from like 12 years ago. You think they would update this shit? Okay, we have got this cluster of fuck. There's a speaker terminal, which doesn't have a speaker. Why did they stop putting speakers on computers? I enjoyed those annoying ass beeps. Power switch, reset switch. Those are just contacts. Those don't have a direction. Power button. LED, power plus, LED. What the hell? All right, you know what? Get in the manual because that's written like crap. Preferably in English. Wait. Node, ROG Strix Gaming Node Connector. Compatible PSU with compatible fan extension card. There's our things. I'm looking for the actual motherboard connectors. There's an LED connector up near the back. CPU fan SP1 TPM. Is that what that is? Is even this motherboard? Yeah. LED. This connector is connecting LED strip on your back I/O cover. There an LED strip on my back I/O cover? Type C, plenty of USBs. Huh. Maybe I don't need that. Anyway, back to, oh wait, hold reset, I see it. Reset, hard LED, power button. Okay, that's better. It's a better visual because it is just missing a pin and they're trying to squeeze all that information below. So the far right pin is nothingness. So it's reset, hard LED. I need to do the power button and the power LED on top. I love how they're not giving me the positive. Power LED, I guess, doesn't matter. Okay. Yes, power LED is those two. They're not telling me positive or negative. They tell me here. Power plus on the left, so. Boom, boom. And those are the hardest ones to reach. And then directly touching that is power button, which I'm going to separate these a little bit. Hard drive, reset, power switch. Is this one? I remember there was a motherboard that had this and it was just all already done. You just plugged in a giant connector. What happened to that? Wasn't that a thing? Hard drive LED is left and then reset is underneath that. So that's this way. It sucks when you plug these in and it doesn't work and your computer turns on and you're so happy, but then you realize your hard drive LED or your power LED is not working. And you're like, goddamn motherfucking fuck. You start screaming. Okay, that should be it. That's plugged in. This is plugged. So really only plugged in 2 out of the fucking 6 things I pushed through here. Because I'm gonna have to lean this thing on its face and pull things back out. And then figure out which one's which. I'm pretty 100%, like 85% sure, like 60% sure which one's which back here, but. All right. Actually, I'm wrong. I had it plugged in correctly. The ones with the flat cables are indeed the motherboard or the USBs on the bottom. That's just an insanely long USB connector there. And then I have to bring back this one, which I was confused about. No, wait. This one, which I was confused about. Because this has to go up with SATA? No, motherboard. So center that one. It helps to have a finger, by the way. Give yourself the finger. So yeah, that's just... That's a very good connector. I like the way that feels. That'll be my headphone connector when I design headphones. It'll be some absurd thing. So now this gets wrapped up and not used. That's fan Fan's gonna be a real pain in the ass. This has to get plugged in back here. This is good, this is good. What else do I need? This gets plugged back in where it was. Literally have to redo what I undid, because I thought I had to redo it. Pull back, and then this can get pulled back. Oh, shit. I did that thing. I said I was going to be bad with, where this wire is now coming around and under everything. It'll be fine. 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 We're going to be fine. Straighten this out before it freaks me out. There actually is huge pass-throughs on the bottom too if you wanted to go through there, but I'm not. I could take all that out just to expose the garbage. I could also bond this with waifu stickers if I really felt like it. Fans are going to be a pain in the ass. We have how many fans down here? M2 fan. Wait, what? This has got a fan built into the motherboard. I better not need an M2 fan. RGB header, add Gen 2.2, USB 3.4, USB 1.2, node. So everything else down here pretty much is gone. Up here is channel fan, SP1 TPM. Don't know what the hell that's for. I'll have to check that. I don't think that's the so many. Oh my god, there's so many sensors. It's like a goddamn modern car. FL cable, flashback, yes. Onboard LEDs. Boot is yellow, green, VGA is white, CPU is red. Those are bad LEDs. You don't want those LEDs. I really lost touch. I used to read these manuals like immediately as soon as I got the thing, and I would know everything that is everything. By the way, feel free to watch this video in like 1.25x, because it'll sound like I just drank a bunch of coffee, or 1.5x if you want to sound like what I on cocaine, and then 1.75x if you want me to be like chipmunk, and then 2x is intelligible, and don't use that. RGB headers. So there's RGB headers on the top and bottom. There is one on the top and bottom. Yes, there are, and they're white, which makes sense. Hey, no longer than 3 meters. I'm gonna put 3 meters of RGB LEDs in this just to fuck with gamers, just because fucking gamers. Okay. Addressable RGB header. What? So there's more than, yeah, there's an addressable one. Jesus. This is all news to me. So a thermal sensor connector, 2-pin T sensor. Oh, okay, ROG gaming, I have that. Do I need to plug that in for something? Monitors the temperature. You know what? I'm gonna go get that, because it's in the box. And now that I know where to plug it in, I feel better. Here. That's a very thick bag. Like all the rest of these bags are like thin. This is a knifing bag. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna be temperature probing. And if this thing ever has a heat issue, there's a problem because it's in my basement. Yeah, there's temp sensor, and it shouldn't be directional because it's just resistive. Okay, let's let that float there. I just want to see what that thing is up there. No. I'm looking for the circle around the thing there. No, that's SATA. I know what that is. 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 LED connector there. LED strip in the back of IO cover, which is, I have a, there's nothing to connect to it, so that's kind of weirding me out. That's not it. That's not it. Is that it? D? Oh, these are all the fans. This fan, pump, opt, CPU opt, channel fan, pump, M2 fan. So this is locating all the fan adapters. So can I plug these fans into the motherboard is the question. I can't plug it into the pump, that's bad news. But I have 3 there, because I have 2 fans that are actually on the motherboard, on the actual cooler, which I have a splitter for, so I can plug them both into one. Damn. And then I have these 2 on top and then 2 on the bottom. So that's a total of 6 fans that I have to power. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fan headers, except one of those is a pump. So I guess I could plug one into the M2 fan and then, oh, there's 2 pumps. Damn it. So I'm gonna have to use a splitter regardless. Unless I use a splitter on the top fans and plug each fan on the CPU into an individual one, which would probably act well for redundancy in case one of the fan headers fails, I guess, would be a thought. Yeah, okay. Is this telling me, SPI trim. The SPI TPM connector supports trusted platform module system, which securely stores keys, digital certificates, passwords, and data. Enhanced network. I've never even heard of this, and I have a networking degree. The SPI TPM module is purchased separately. Okay, good. I don't have to fucking worry about it. We're learning things. Motherboards, we're learning everything about motherboards now. Don't trip and fall on your fucking wire. We are ready to... I think we can close the back of this computer up. There's nothing else to do back here. Just sort it out, plug in the fans if I'm plugging in any of the fans, and that's it. I don't know about this motherboard, like this RGB. This has to get plugged into the motherboard. So I actually have to run this through as well. So I have to run this through, I'll put it through the bottom. I'll put it through the bottom with the rest of them now that I know that. This goddamn motherboard has 97 RGB fucking headers on it. Okay. And it's got one with no pin, and we're gonna plug into one that has no pin. Trying to eyeball this through the hole. Come on. I hate RGB plugs. There we go. Okay, so now that's plugged into an RGB header that matches it. Oh, shit. No, this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. I knew this already. So this one goes here. Why did Brandon just message me? All right. There's so many people talk. I just told it to read my notifications, and you know how many notifications are on my phone? What is happening here? Where? What? Oh, God. All right. This is for LED driver. This is for my SATA 2, and this is an extra one that I need for this, which I'm just going to plug in anyway because I can. That makes sense, everybody? Great. And now that's it. That's the end of plugging in things back here. This is getting rolled up in storage. What is she doing? Someone sent me this, like, hey, what's she doing? What is happening? I don't know. My friend sent me this and I'm just like, I don't have time. This wrapped up. This wrapped up. This is plugged in. This is plugged in. I'm not running any of these SATAs through. I've got the only SATA. Actually, let's plug in the only SATA I need. There's only one SATA I need. Let's plug it in. Where'd it go? Here. This way I could wrap up the excess. Which way does this actually... The L's are all that way, so. Is there a number? I kind of want to go on number 1. Although I don't really fucking think it matters. I guess we'll put it to the very bottom, very first. Not all the way in the back, just there. There's our only SATA connection. Yay. So now we are officially done with wires coming through the front. We just have to, I gotta plug in the power on the top, which I ignored. And I started that and then I stopped. And this is going right in front of this fan, which is not the best solution. Radio Gaga. I'm listening to Radio Gaga by Queen, by the way. All right, that's in there, that's seated. So these can get pulled. See, this is a problem because that is a fan and is getting hit by the wire. So we gotta make sure we pull that back. This is graphics card, we're not there yet. This is motherboard, which we can now put in. I don't know if I would recommend putting this stuff in. I saw that fan move and I freaked out for a second. Gently work this back and forth. Don't push in just all the way, just back and forth. That's fine. Give it a little bend, twist, make sure it's good, seated. This is in, I just need to pull this back, or at least make sure it's not gonna get smashed into the fan. Make sure there's a hand space. A hand space is what I like. That's good. This is graphics card, which is gonna be here. So this will be coming around from the bottom and in. Yeah, we're good. Here's my temperature probe, which is just fucking hanging out. Next is, so we can close the back. We're done, we can close the back. Let's go get the back. Now, radio. This is what we look like. Here's our venting. Aluminum, by the way. Magnetized, by the way. I'm really impressed by how this goes together. After dealing with computer cases 10 years ago and just plastic material with magnet strips, and then since it's aluminum, they had to add other magnet strips, which makes it extremely strong seal. And here's the thing. This is the only thing that's going to be able to breathe into our Be Quiet power supply, which is kind of I kind of wish it had more, which is our orientation. I should know this, but I don't, which is fun. Oh, this must be up. Yeah, this is up because these slots, no, this is down. That's down. Okay, that makes more sense. So this is our orientation. These slots get permanently pressed into the legs here. These aluminum holes here. And then these are just pins that are permanently fixed that slide down. And when you put the top on this case, it holds all the sides in place. Hey, there's a deer just chilling on my lawn. Fucking groundhogs and deer, it's nature out there, man. It's wild. So I'm gonna lay this on its fascia again. I shouldn't hit anything, nothing's gonna fall out. Move this over. 6 feet is my recommended table size, by the way. If you get nothing else in this video, know that you need a 6-foot fucking table. Try not to drop it as much. So here's our mess. Everything's been shoved back in. This is all the stuff we have to deal with. And honestly, you could just do this and then put the cover on the back. It's just what's gonna happen. This actually should probably come back out. Actually, does this have will this bounce off? This will bounce off, so I can plug both fans into one. I'm gonna put this back through the front because I'm about to lock the back and I don't want it to come back here again. Actually, you know what sucks? I just realized I can't put the back on this because I literally can't lock the back. It just sits here and then that's it. It slides off. It slides down and slides off. There's no screw it in place and then you could deal with it. It will just not. It will just not. There's no tightening this. Honestly, for airflow reasons, this might just be the best it gets. Just sort of lay things down. That sort of goes there. This doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be wrapped up. I took off that Velcro and it's just why? As long as you are below the fascia, this is the kind of mess that I'm okay with. This is just who I am. Right? I know people will be like, no, Zeus, what if someone breaks into your house and opens up the back of your computer to see if you did a good job? And I'm like, you fucking high? So this basically is just gonna go, that's it. it just slides. There it is. It sort of pushes down, but it's not locked. It's not locked in place at all. It's just there. So now if I lay it on its back on this side down, which I'm gonna be doing, I can't slide. See, that's a negative. That is a fucking negative. Because that means I can't slide it because it'll just detach this and there's no way to hold it without, I guess I could just put the top on, like the actual, because if I put the top on, it keeps this from lifting up, but then I have to take the top off again to do the sides. It's a brilliant design. It's just not perfect. I haven't tightened this down yet. We'll have to, or this one of these is still loose. We'll have to remember that. But yeah, look, this just goes here. There's these captive little pegs, which I'm having a hard time lining up because it's leaning closer to the table than it actually is. So I'm gonna just bring it off the edge. If I do this, slide that forward. There's actually a plastic lock, so I don't even have to lock the things. That clips in place, so now this won't come up. So now I can flip it over and it doesn't get affected by it. So, you know, it'll all work out. It'll all work out in the end. It's important you make those noises so you sound more manly. Real men grunt every time they do anything. It's a known fact. So here is, I can do this. I can plug this fan into this fan, like that. And then I can plug another fan into this fan. I'll use one fan header for these two. And then I could just shove the excess like a gentleman, just way, way back in there, Morty. And I only need one fan connector for the top two, which, that one's classy. I would have probably used that one for the entire event. Shit, I closed the book. The book that showed me where the fans were. There we go. I just want to make sure I'm not using one that's a pump or something stupid. So A is CPU fan. We're obviously saving that for the actual CPU fan. B, CPU optional. Channel fan is D. No, channel fan D is all over here. I'm not using D. I got to use something up there. So I have A, B, and C I could choose from. CPU fan, IO pump, and CPU fan, PWM opt. So I guess I'll use C. So C is the bottom one here. And there is our CPU optional. 65-inch Sony TV, by the way, in case you're wondering. And that's it. So now we're not doing a pump, we're doing a CPU fan. So I'm gonna have to get that. It's time to start bringing over expensive things. Because I mean, this is expensive. What I've installed is expensive. But it ain't the expensive things. Yeah, graphics card is just that. Anything else I gotta peel off before I do this? No? Great. CPU in, then after CPU, RAM, and then we do everything else that has to do with CPU. So let's bring CPU and RAM both over. Now you're gonna wanna be grounded like a motherfucker. Is it actually gonna sit correctly? Open up our little lift gate. Why do they make the corner so hard to see? There is a little tiny gold triangle in one of the corners, and there's a little like darker spot corner that shows you which orientation, because it doesn't say Ryzen flat. This one in particular says Ryzen vertical, and it should fall straight in. If you do it right, it just falls in. And I always go like down, up, and then down and lock. Just give it like a little bit. And you can give it like a wiggle. I don't know, it's an audio connector thing. I just wiggle it. So now that that's in, RAM, because RAM is going to be fucking nearly impossible to get in with the CPU cooler, which actually, you know what? Before I do RAM, move this stuff off. I don't need G-Skill, I don't need plastic. Let's look at the CPU cooler and really, really focus. By the way, we're going to get to use this nocturnal badge, and I feel so happy. Here's our other fan. Here's our power splitter. Bring this bastard over. How does this mount? That's the question of the day. How does this mount, Zeos? Difficultly. According to the book, AMD uses these two things, and then you have, I guess we have to take this fan out of the middle. Yeah, I guess that's what we have to do. Which is fine. There's that. So there's our two bolts that bolt straight down. Are these the female side? That's weird. Yeah, it literally has. We actually screw down the female side of this, and this. I have to take these out. I don't actually know. I don't actually know. Should I know? I probably should know. Let's see. I think this is the book. Required mounting parts for Chroma Black. I'm unscrewing those and screwing these back in place with the spacers. Okay. Just double checking my things. It's important that you have things. That's it. Just things. In fact, there were two of these manuals. There was an Intel one and an AMD one, and I threw the Intel one in the trash because I didn't want to get confused. One, two. What I'm going to do for from experience sake is not take all four of these screws out at the same time. In case the back plate decides to just fall off, which is probably likely, I'm going to take off the bottom half, replace it with the one I got from Noctua, and then I'm going to put the top half back. How does we install these? So we need spacers. We have our own screws. We don't need these silver screws anymore. So this and these silver screws go away. We have this, which these are pretty much unique enough that I don't have to worry about it. There are some little washers here. I don't remember what this was from. What was in this? This stuff? Garbage, garbage, garbage. Throw garbage away. Motherboard manual, get it off here. Get it off here. Get it off. Keep your place clean, god damn it. Things are so much less confusing when there's so much less stuff. Less is more. Better. Okay, so now we need, and it doesn't say which is which. Why? Are these the same height? No, one is slightly different than the other. How the fuck am I supposed to know? God damn it. Okay. Oh, I guess that's how. AM4 is gray, so I'm going to need gray. It's an AM4 motherboard. It is an AM4 motherboard, right? Yeah, it's an AM4. Okay. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not crazy. Okay, so the screws are the same length. We're going to basically just drop these gray spacers, which have bigger holes on one side, or they just fit around it? What? Now what? Now there's a choice of either going here or here. Oh, I guess AM3 or AM4. Okay, so that's AM4, so that's there. What a system to have to like adjust it for every CPU and try to make it universal, to try to waste less in parts. It's nice. It's nice. God, the old school fucking heat sinks that used to have the spring-loaded clip that you'd have to like push in with a screwdriver against your motherboard. That was the scariest fucking ever. What's the scariest thing you've ever done, Zeos? That roller coaster that was broken? You didn't know? Nope. Car accidents? Nope. Literally fucking pushing down on a spring-loaded tension clip buried between a thing. I was like, and hoping that you don't slip off and just go through the motherboard. Okay, 1/2's done. So now we're gonna need these gray ones and this and these two and walk around. Convenient. The convenience of being able to walk around the whole thing is just, cannot be overstated. Where was I putting the silver ones? There. Nice hardware, by the way. Definitely keeping these screws. Okay. AM4 is there. Back to in. The ratchet on this is not the greatest anymore. By the way, as of the recording of this, only this episode of Loki is out. Has it gone to shit yet? Because it's so good so far. Although Loki's a little bit too human, I feel like it needs to be a little more godlike and asshole-ish. He's just one of the guys that has superpowers. No. More, I am insulted by you, sir. I'm just gonna give these a final tightness check. Basically, if the screwdriver pops out as I'm spinning, that's tight enough. Okay. That's good. That's good too. What next? By the way, a brilliant design piece to get these fans to clip in with these little fucking, like they just bend and do things. It's wild. It's wild. It's a wild thing. Where was I? Graphics card. RAM now. RAM now? RAM now. Although I might have, no, RAM now. No, RAM now. RAM now. Okay. Because this is just going to reach down and do thing. There is no thermal paste applied because Knoxdrop comes with thermal paste, and I could use theirs. I could use this other one. I bought another one. RAM is just going to be touch case. Where's my slots 1, 2, 3, and 4? DIMM A and B. So actually, it's nice that A and B away from it. I'm assuming if I have only 2 DIMMs, they go. Oh shit! I got to read, don't I? Fuck. Because I don't know in the fucking world of modern computers if RAM has to be separated by a channel. So I need A1 and B1 or A1, B, and A2. CPU installation, DIMM installation, 2.7. Okay, Yeah, I get that. Now, what's the particulars, you bastards? That's IKEA level instructions. Motherboard overview, DIMM installation, rear I/O, easy mode, advanced. Someone's yelling at the internet right now. Stop it. All right, it's been a while. I may have to do a phone a friend on this. Yeah, I know how to install and remove a dimmer RAM, but like, which slots, you bitch? Where's my slot, bruh? Starting for the first time. I think I still need to like... If I was designing a motherboard, I would make it so you had to put the 2 DIMMs of RAM apart so there's more airflow. And if you wanted to add more DIMMs, you would add them between them and then remove some airflow. But, you know, this is just... I'm sure it's not that is the problem. AI tweaker, SATA, Bixby, PCI Express, RGB LED lighting. I don't care. These books are just bigger from that. Realtek LAN controller, hard drive, smart, APM configuration, fan configuration, tool menu, scene erase. Come on. This would have been something that I figured would have been, it used to be like 1, 3, 4, 5. Aces crash and RAID support. Okay. Well, we're just gonna take a guess. A wild fucking stab at it, I guess. Ooh, there's asterisks next to. Why are there asterisks? Because it says dim B1, then dim B2 asterisk, then dim A1, and then dim A2 asterisk. I may have to phone a friend. Where's the index? Where's the real index? That's not even my language. That's not even my language. All right, where's the thing that circles the picture of the RAM, that shows me the RAM? There's gonna be a picture of the RAM. Okay, PCI Expiration Express mode. I feel like this will teach me something, maybe before this. There you go, okay. The motherboard comes with 4 double data rate DDR4 dual inline memory modules, DIMM slots. A DDR4 module is notched differently from DDR. Do not install DDR module slot. Okay, great. Recommended memory configurations. You may install 2 gig, 4 gig in the DIMM sockets. Okay, I'm correct. You do DIMM B2 with the asterisks and DIMM A2 with the asterisks if you're just doing 2 DIMMs. That's why you read. I had a feeling. So we're doing one and skipping one, then doing the other one, and we're keeping it further away from the processor. Why do they make this slot not like blatantly to one side, like it used to be back in my day? I'm not going to push that in until I get them both in place, and I'll push them both in. See, we're skipping. Wait, I fucked it up already, didn't I? I fucked it up already. It's fine. It's fine. If you're gonna fuck up already. So the bottom one, you just put in like that. Now the top one is the scary click one. That's it. Dean. I'm gonna have a hard time plugging things into the top of the motherboard once I have the CPU cooler in place. So I'm gonna plug this in now to the CPU one, which is this one here. Because that fucker's gonna be like, and I'm gonna be like, ah, and then so that's, okay, there. That's got the hand still, nothing's interfering with the RAM. I have these slot clips open. I think we're ready to apply thermal paste. Like that's it, we're ready to apply thermal paste. And then once we install this, then the bottom fans and we're good to go. We'll do the bottom fans now. Let's do the bottom fans now because let's do the bottom fans now. These don't need to be here. Put these in the tray. This is done. Well, no, this is not done. This needs to be visually. Where is my screws that I magnetized here? So this will do the same thing where it make sure nothing's getting caught. Okay, that's in place. Sucking and blowing. Suck and blow, suck, blow, suck, blow, suck, blow. Now this, we could save a channel fan by doing this. And now we only have one connector here that needs to get plugged in, and all the excess I can shove through that hole in the bottom. Remember that hole that I was talking about? Remember I was talking about your hole? So let's do channel fan plug-in first. Channel fan 2. And then all this excess wire can just be shoved, just eliminate it from my vision. Eliminate this from my vision. There we go. So now the temperature probe, we can go anywhere we want. I don't know, I don't want to damage anything either. So I'm just gonna shove it through here for now and let it just sort of float. I don't want it falling in the fan. But my biggest fear is it falls in the fan, and that's bad. So we're just gonna be mindful of that. Graphics card is last, and then there's our plugs for graphics card, and then we're done. So this, I'm not gonna expose that yet. We have to paint the thing. Now, it's been a long time. I didn't used to come with spatulas. I used to have to use a credit card. And when your mom used your mom's credit card, it really sucked. So here's our thermal compound. We're just going to go the smallest little bloop. Half a pea, like that's it. Because you don't need it much. It's gonna be molecularly, I'm not lapping anything, but it's like, if you think you need more, you probably don't. Just keep spreading it thinner and thinner. And we're trying to get the complete coverage of this. I don't want to rotate the spatula either. You're not trying to make in other words, this is not the mayonnaise you put in your sandwich. I put a lot of mayonnaise in my sandwich. This is if you only had like a teaspoon of mayonnaise for the rest of your fucking life. Spread this shit out super thin. You just want to make sure you get it on the entire surface. Careful with it building up on the spatula too, because you're going to start taking it away. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. See, I pulled off a bunch of it, but that's fine as long as it's completely covered. Okay. Probably fine. It's on there. It's not too thick. It's just enough. It'll just settle. I'll probably even scrape off even more if I really want to just be like, hey, get the fuck off there, you bitch. Like, you almost should be able to read Ryzen on it. Don't play with it though. I'm sitting here playing with it. Don't play with it. Okay. Uncovered. That's spotless. Let it just sit there for a second. Is this going to be long enough, or do I have to get the skinnier screwdrivers? Yep, it's plenty fine. So now this is spring loaded, so we just have to get it started, and then you have to get the other side started. And then you have to go back and get this one. This is going to be a lot of back and forth. There's a spring under there, so it sounds like it's cracking things, which is never good to hear, but I'm just gonna. I slipped off that one. Oh, that literally hits an end. There is an end where it just does not spin anymore. It's not like it's tight, it's just done. Done. That is attached. So, am I gonna be able to fit this with the fucking fans there? Maybe? Nope. I'm gonna have to put it, wait a second, am I not gonna be able to fit it because of this fucking shield? Ooh, did not even imagine that would be a problem. And the RAM is there. My, Hey. So here's what I got going on, boys and girls. So these are both attached in the same correct way, correct? Good. Yes. Because I know I put one of these on. Wow, one of my in-ears is low battery. Okay, yeah, take it out, install that. Lift these things up, and they should just clip onto the thing. It's just a little lip it has to go around, and you're done. Low noise adapter, why locator, no. Motherboard, why so 2 low noise adapters to fans. I only needed 1. Wow. Okay, so I may not be able to fit both of these fans. Because in the middle I could fit it, because the middle it'll go down all the way. And we are blowing, where are we blowing? Where do we want to blow? Out, not in. We want to suck air in from the outside, so we want to blow in. Okay. Because this is the sort of shit that you sort of design on your own, in your own brain. We're either, because there's going to be hot air in here regardless. And then just have this thing pull out all the hot air. We'd be better off pulling fresh air from the back. It's not gonna matter. We're gonna have so much fucking movement. My issue is, how fucked am I for getting this to like work? And also, do I wanna have it so that the fan control wire is out top where it's nice and easy to deal with, or at the bottom where it's like, you know what, fuck it. It's going out the front and top, fuck it. Let's go. Wow, I could literally do that, but you know what? Then the top doesn't fit on. Wow. Okay, so I think what we're yeah, no, I can't get the glass sides on if I put a fan on the either outside. I can only put one fan in the middle. So one of these fans is getting not installed. We'll see if I have heat issues. Because, I mean, worst case scenario, I'll literally just mount a fucking fan here, floating, blowing at it. Or sucking, it's not going to be blowing at it, it's going to be sucking from. Where do I want that turbulent air? Turbulent juice. There's no way to tell. Like, can I even like I am just clearing these heat pipes with the piece of glass to the side. And it's not like it's gonna barely fit. Like, this is blatantly not gonna fit because this box is too big. The IO cover box is massive because it's filled with fucking RGB LEDs. And then the front RAM is here, so I can't go that low over there. Unless I put only 2 DIMMs of RAM all the way to the far end, and then I could fit it. So this is gonna be the part where Turismo King 89, who streams, is gonna be like, oh, I told you should have gotten a fucking water cooler. And I'm gonna be like, shut your face. See, now that's fine. That fits perfectly. And that's how we install it. It's literally done. It's a matter of, that's a great one. That's literally it. I can't put the other fan on. So I don't have to worry about the Y-split adapter anymore. Also, it doesn't, I guess it does reach if I do this. If I rotate this around, I have it currently set to blow that way. Do I want it to blow that? You know what? I'm going to have it blow that way because any fresh air that's coming up, it's going to have to pass that massive video card. That video card is going to be it's going to go this way anyway, and it'll blow it and just try to get the fuck out of the case. I may have to buy a 120 millimeter fan specifically just to exhaust out the back. Yeah, no, it's not ideal. This is just a fact that, you know, you can't possibly know that it's not going to fit there until you have it all and just actually assemble it. Because I didn't have all the fans mounted to it anyway. And the thing is, you can mount this at any point. This thing will just latch into the heatsink at any point. So I can go as low as possible or up. It's not like it has to go in the middle. It just won't fit if I do this. We are up way too high. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to buy a 120 millimeter fan and put it in there. All right, well, one's gonna have to work for now. So I'm just gonna leave this Y splitter in place for now. Do that. This means I'll have a free plug here. I actually have plenty of room to get in there, but not like insanely amounts of room, but it's good enough room. I'll fold this in back here. And when I need to get it, I'll come get it out. So we'll have one CPU cooler fan. We'll see. We're going to be in a basement. It's always going to be cold. Graphics card time. That's good. Oh, I didn't put this on the back. You jackass. You're all a bunch of jackasses. You didn't even tell me. See us. You got to screw that thing back in the back. Why wouldn't you tell me that in the past, in the future? Well, you know. Well, it's not like I attached it really well anyway. So now that's going to make it a little bit more difficult because that's going to have a little bit more space. This can go on before I forget it. This is our just air filter for this. Do I want to fix that before? All right, here's what I do. I'm going to rotate this onto its face. It's getting heavier now. Now it's starting to feel like a gaming computer that's annoying to touch. I will release the lid. And that's one. And now this just slides up. And that's it. I don't want to scratch the fascia of it. So now we got to put that vertical piece back. I kind of knew I was going to forget it. I kind of knew. It's just a matter of because now we're going to be pressing this stuff in. Is there a magnet with all our screws? I think this one like this. I kind of feel like oh, is that just what this is? This a little yeah, no, we're not messing up the wires too bad. Is it there to hide the wires? Because I'd rather not have it hide the wires if it's not a really important thing. Wait a second, does that get pushed behind there? Oh, that gets pushed behind there. Oh, that makes it much more difficult. What am I hitting? I'm holding a screw. Put that screw down. Because this has to slide, and there's a fucking lip. Why would they put a lip there? That's a nice one. Okay. These go here. Then this clips. Yeah, this is I mean, it's not hurting it much, but it's not helping it either, so. Just lightly screw these in, because those are just clipped in place with, I don't know why. I mean, this is a support piece, so this doesn't flex, because it's not steel, and it's not thick aluminum, so they have to make sure it's not gonna buckle. You don't want that crushing in, because that will just crush in, so this piece has to sort of go back. It's stupid that this doesn't pop off. This should be a better system. As if I have to get in here to do something, I gotta not just take the top of the case off, then take the back of the case off. I then have to take the support piece of the case off. Hold on, my friend Dan the IT man, is gonna drop off an amp. So there's that. He repaired the power supply on the Dynalo. Okay. You're back in place. I'm now going to slide you back down. Anything here have to be manipulated in a sexual way? No? Someplace that he'd rather be. Billy Joel's currently playing, by the way. Oh, nope. Undo. Closer. There we go. Okay. So now that that's back on, let's Let me just slide this back on real quick. Come on. All right. That locks this in place. This whole thing locks everything. What's sticking out here. So now it's graphics card time, which is heavy and is going to increase my worry 65-fold. So we need to take out some graphics card slots. I don't think I need that one. I think it's just these two. And why the fuck is that so hard to remove? I think it's just these two. I think it's just these two. One. Two giant thumb screws. Okay. You know what? That's gonna be right against this. I'm tempted to put it just down lower, just to keep it out of the way, but I know that's the slot you guys supposed to put it in. So it's a thing. It's a thing. You know what else bothers me about this Radeon? That center fan is slightly smaller than the side ones, just to put the word Radeon. There's no reason they could have put the same size fan and just moved over things a little bit or had smaller things. They just needed it for the word Radeon. That it's me, they've been coming to see. Jesus Christ. That fell into place, and that's it. There's no alternate choices. There's just no taking that out. I don't even know how the fuck are you supposed to unlatch that? Holy fuck, how the fuck are you supposed to unlatch that? To take out your graphics card. Holy fuck. That's nearly impossible. You have to push down you have to get a screwdriver in way over here to unlatch that. That's... That is unsatisfyingly uncomfortable. Ah, Dan's here. Captain.
Streaming?
No, putting together my computer.
Yeah, sorry I made you wait 6,000 weeks for a 2-hour job.
I mean, you had to complain, so it's good. Well, it looks better now. So what other things would you add besides heat shrink everywhere?
Ferrules to all these connections. Make an actual circuit board and mount it, and not just cheese board.
Is it going to be okay just sitting there on the fucking styrofoam?
I would put... Is that a clear top that's on it?
No.
I would put another piece of styrofoam so that way the top pushes it down to hold it in place.
Alright.
I didn't have that. But everything lights up. Also, I forgot your cheap headphones you sent with it, so I'll have to bring those with me next time.
That's fine. But yeah, no, that's cool. Alright. You gotta pee or anything?
No, I'm good.
Alright.
You want to try it real quick?
Alright, hold everybody. Dyno's broken. He fixed the power supply, but the dyno sounds exactly like it did before he fixed it. Okay, so where were we? We were plugging in literally this. This is what we're plugging in. Nice big loops. Shouldn't need to do any fancy stuff. Just, these have little clips like they're supposed to attach to one another. I'm just gonna get them in. And like I was saying, I am so fucking pissed at how hard it is to get this graphics card out. It's like they should include a button here that will push that. I'm now going to try to put back these thumb screws. Now, This happens on every case. Like you have to like bend that. It doesn't want to line up 100% like easy. 1. And boys and girls, boys and berries and girls, we have officially finished building the computer. That's it. Dan was like, he showed up 22 seconds before I was completed, and I was like, you gotta leave. I gotta finish it. So now, while I was talking to Dan, I obviously walked over here and showed it to him, and he's like, why don't you build the thing that Dell uses where they put the shroud over it? I'm gonna end up buying 2, I'm considering this done. We're gonna start this, we're gonna build, it's gonna be done. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna order 2 120mm fans, and then I'll strap those to this, front and back. This way there's 3 fans on that, and always blow towards the back, he says, which I trust him. He's built more servers than anyone in the world, except for maybe JDM Watt with his serverbuilds.net. But so I'll put another 120 here and a 120 here. In fact, I'm gonna get a 120. I think I have 120 sitting in my box downstairs, like a cheap one. And I'm just gonna put it here and see if it fits, make sure everything's gonna fit, and put it here, make sure it's gonna fit, and then I'll buy 2 brand new, probably matching Noctuas in black, and be done with it. Or Arctics, just to keep it all the same. All the same. Oh no. Oh, these are for the bottom. These are for this. Okay. Which, does this really need to be? No, this is for that. Does that really need to be screwed in place? I feel like it doesn't need to be screwed in place. Where the hell are the screws? Wait a second. Because this popped in place with the clips. Oh, there. Down there. I guess that's a thing that I should do? I don't know, it feels excessive. Why would that need screws? Oh God. See, I slid the magnet down so it's narrower and it doesn't grab anymore. Let's just get that screw out. And you know what? I don't think I'm adding those screws back. I feel like these clips are gonna be fine. Or maybe they were finding these things were popping up during transport. I don't know. This is one of those, like, you gotta either do it or don't do it, take your pick. And I gotta do it either way, standing up. So, graphics card is now in. I don't think I need, oh my God. What bothers me the most about shit like this is so fucking heavy. So fucking heavy. Like, it just feels like it wants to break everything. And the temperature probe, I'm just gonna leave. I could actually bring the temperature probe up and do like, because I know what the CPU is going to be. You know, I want to know what the temperature is above the CPU, so I could just do something like that. Just like wedge this between here, and it'll just measure that for me. Where is this going? There. We need to turn this on. So, step 1, clean up the table. We've got a bunch of shit here. I don't know what any of this stuff was. This is all clips and clasps and things that came with the case. This looks like an extra clippy button. So I'm gonna add everything that I think came with the case back to this. These 4 giant screws. I guess these 4 giant screws would be for mounting like a radiator. I think this metal strip would probably to mount 2 graphics cards to one another. Everything's going back in here now. Everything is going back in here now. Except for this. This is the ones for there, which I may or may not. Ooh, the feet. All right, let's deal with the feet. So you saw the shelf downstairs. I'm just gonna add a 3rd foot. I'm gonna take this foot off. Oh, fuck. Why? Why, Chewbacca? Because I kind of want the foot to be all the way in the back. Does that work, or am I gonna have to get double stick tape? Yeah, I want this foot to be all the way in the back, which it doesn't. It barely wants to stay. And then this one's gonna end up on the shelf, so I'm gonna add these other feet somewhere in the middle. So there's 3 feet on that shelf. We're a little bit biased down. And of course I put it down and it's crooked. That one's not bad. This one's Okay, screwdriver. No stickers, because stickers indicate that it works and is 100%. Move all this stuff onto here. I want to put this back. I don't want to lose these particular screws. We have to go up to the mezzanine and grab the monitor. And then I need to get another, actually the power supply will be upstairs. So I want to get this to boot right here. There's no reason for it not to boot right here. The only thing we're not going to have here is internet, which is kind of important when you're first loading a computer. I mean, it is and it isn't. I'm not going to do the registering of Windows yet. That'll happen after we load. Okay. Slightly nervous energy. Nervous energy, Chewbacca. Ain't nobody is immune to the nervous energy of putting together a computer for the first time. Like if you build 30 of them and you turn them all on, you want 30 of them to boot. Well, now I have 240mm fans that are not currently used. This can be thrown away. All right, I'm standing this up with the graphics card in it for the first time. Okay. How's my table looking? Good enough. Bring this to the other side. We're gonna need a mouse. Fuck, I need a mouse and a keyboard too. At least I need a keyboard. What are your thoughts? I agree. Don't follow me up here because I'm just gonna come down these steps and you're gonna step on you. Got my fancy shoes on. I haven't worn these since RMAF, I don't think. I just decided to put on my dress shoes today. It's like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. All right, here's my power plug. So I don't need that. Around the neck, this should be screwed in. Anything else got to bring down from up here? Nope. Cat on the steps? Nope. It's nice to have an extra monitor you just bring places. I don't think you need a 32-inch BenQ 4K, but it's nice. Oh, I need a... I guess we're gonna be going in the basement anyway, since I don't have a place to plug. Actually, there's one part missing from this computer build. I bought a $300 Eaton uninterruptible power supply because Eaton's the best, apparently. I need a graphics card connector, aka an HDMI cable or a DisplayPort cable. Mouse, keyboard, DisplayPort cable. DisplayPort, does this have DisplayPort? I might have DisplayPort to DisplayPort. I'm just running through the build in my head now. What did I forget? What did I fuck up? I can't believe I forgot the blah. Can you believe that I forgot the blah and I tried to launch it? Oh my God, it would have been a nightmare. This is the expensive fiber optic HDMI, which I don't think I need a 50-foot HDMI cable, but at least I know it runs 4K. Here's a really short one. Here's an old one from a Nintendo. You know what? We're going with this one because it's blue. Although again, I don't know if it's gonna actually. Wait, do I have? You know what? Where's this one? This is the one I'm going to use. Forget that blue one. This is the one I was using on my 4K display. That goes DisplayPort to HDMI. So, do I have an extra keyboard and mouse here is the question. I have a wireless mouse. I'd rather have a keyboard since we're just loading into Windows for the first time. I know where I have a keyboard. Okay. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. By the way, one of these earbuds died. Oh no, it just had a low battery. Good girl, troopers. These are going to require a good bend to get the glass over. flower. There's one. HDMI 1 in, I think it's flat. Yeah, I'm right, it's just hard to see. Now, keyboard. Actually, I have a mouse there too. Got real love, baby. Mm-hmm. Pumpernickel. This. And the Meyernix mouse. Just trying not to look at all those goddamn anime figures you keep buying. Internet. I'll bring them back, I promise, CRT. Oh God, over the top. Oh, by the way, never throw out your computer's case box in case you have to move or travel somewhere. Longest 3 minutes ever, like Jesus Christ. I guess you could tell how your day is going if you set a timer, like, oh, I'm gonna change wallpapers every 3 minutes, and then it never changes. It's like, is it still doing 3 minutes? Okay. This actually has HDMI 2.0 on it in case I need to double check if the graphics card doesn't work or something. And yes, it's a very pink keyboard. What do you want from me? We should be good to go. This is set to, once it's plugged in, pairing is off. Green light. That lit up. Does that just stay on? Like, that's just, RGB is working, everyone. That lit up. That lit up. That lit up. That dim of RAM lit up. Why didn't the other dim of RAM light up? Why did only one dim of RAM light up? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Whoa. That's why only one dim of RAM lit up. Ha 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 ha. Okay. It was slightly out. Let's try this again. Red strip, yellow light, that light up. Both dims of RAM light up. That lit up. Are we gonna get post? This is blinking. Why is that blinking so violently and fervently? We have posted. New CPU install. Please enter setup and configure your system. Oh, I probably need the final piece to the puzzle. Windows. Let's plug Windows in. I guess any of these will work. There's a BIOS USB. Is that really? I don't think I should plug it into the BIOS USB. That's weird though, that there's literally a USB port that's labeled BIOS. Press F1 to enter setup. We've got the M2, we've got the Samsung, we're both there. 3 keyboards, 1 mouse, 1 hub. The keyboard's being lame. All right, hold on. Undo that lame keyboard. Let's put on this lame keyboard. Cable, Windows. Okay. Function F1. We have all our RAM, by the way. 65.536 gigs with a Ryzen 5900. You guys get a regular fucking keyboard at some point. Maybe the keyboard's plugged into a bad spot. Let's try a different one. Maybe it just doesn't like where I have it currently. Function F1. Oh, function 2 F1. Because there's two function keys. There's the yellow is brightness, and the blue one is function 2. Okay. All right, I was getting a little bit nervous. So I have a mouse. Can I scroll wheel? I even can scroll wheel. So BIOS, system date, time. Is it 4:11 in the afternoon? It's 5:11 actually, I think. I'm taking out these IMs now. They both need to be charged. Okay, leave those Sonys. They did good. English. I guess the system date and time will change. AI tweaker, I don't care at this point. Overclocking, tuning, none of this matters until I am fucking... Oh my God, there's so many configurations. CPU temperature, 122. CPU package temperature, 141. I'm Fahrenheit. So it's 50 degrees, 60 degrees. That's blowing very quietly and calmly. When I have more CPUs, it'll be fine, or more. You can see just the absolute state of it. Once this is also closed, these things will blow slightly harder, which actually, you know what I can do? Since these are out on top. Oh, there is no vent. I thought there was a what's it called there? We're gonna put the sides on this anyway. Now that it's running, and I don't think I need to get back into it, I'll put the, let's complete the glass, which has been sitting out on my countertop for a while, so you'll have to excuse it if it's dirty. Oh, there's inside and outside protective coatings, I think. It said there were. I think I see one on the inside. Oh no, it's totally one on the inside. I should be doing this after I start getting Windows installed, since I am going all the way to the Windows install. So you know what, I'm putting this one piece on, not taking the cover off the glass in the front. We're gonna lift this up and then drop it. And we'll peel this off in a bit. Totally aimed there. Okay, it doesn't matter. We need to just load into Windows. So boot configuration. Save changes and exit. Oh, it's exit tool, boot configuration, fast boot is enabled. Boot, next boot after power, normal, boot logo, auto, post delay, boot, post, boost, boot, post delay time. Oh, let your monitor turn on or something. 0 seconds. Why would I even want 1 second? I don't know. Numlock, pad state, optimum RAM, interrupt, setup mode, advanced mode, easy mode, advanced mode is fine. So where's my actual boot configuration? Boot options, overdrive. There's nothing here, so I'm just gonna hit save changes and reset. We didn't do anything really. I'm just saving changes and resetting. Oh God, the fucking RGB. I hate it. I hate it with all my fucking might. All my might. At least this is just red. I like the red. I might just do purple or red, just straight. So this doesn't need to be here. These don't need to be here. We shouldn't need any more of these tools. We can then deal with everything else. My little Noctua thing. There we go, English. So let's see how long it takes to install Windows 10. English, next. Install now. Activate Windows. I don't have a product key. Next. So there want to install Windows 10 Pro. Home or Pro? I mean, does it really matter? I'm gonna do Pro. I'm just gonna do Pro. I'll buy a Pro license key. I completely and utterly accept these license agreements. Do you agree? Oh, by the way, the building of that USB key is a YouTube video. Just search it out. Okay, custom install, advanced only. So I want to put it in the 1 gig, not the 2 gig. That one, because that's the M2. The 2 gig, or the 2 terabyte, my bad. Copying Windows files. Done. Holy fuck. Getting files ready for installation. Okay, so while that's doing that, now we can put the sides of the case on. Where was this one? Oh, this must have been on the top, which I don't, it's an exhaust, so I shouldn't need it. As long as it's blowing, I'm just gonna have to keep this with the unit because I don't wanna block, like this is just gonna block airflow. And if it's blowing out, it's not collecting dust. If it was an in, if these were in, or you're putting a radiator here and it was in, you could put this on the back of your thing. But right now, this is just a useless piece of fan filter, so we're not gonna worry about that. Now this, let's see. I don't understand why it took so long for people to figure out just to make 93%. Oh my God, hurry. I'm peeling off the inside protectors. I think I'm gonna leave the outside protectors on until we get it down the basement. And by we, I mean me on my own, because it's just gonna be a fingerprint magnet like a mofo. Great, it's in my sink now. So now, yeah, you can see how this goes together. It just literally falls down into these slots. Which that one's in the bottom, but not the top. Now it's in the top. So three pegs fall in the center, and 2 pins in the side. So now the back is held in place, the front here is held in place, and everything else, I gotta screw that fan down in place. That was the last thing I needed to do. Because we have currently a sliding fan, which honestly would not affect much. Where do I wanna put this? As it's rotating, by the way. Since I'm blowing that way with the, when I get the 3120s, it's gonna blow that way. Anything that doesn't catch, I'll leave it towards the far rear. Give it a little quarter turns. This one's gonna require a couple rotations. Okay, now it's done. I can't even put the case together. Windows is installing so fast. And now this. Peel this one off too when I get it down the basement. So now this just pushes forwards and locks there, and then you just screw that and that. I'll order the 2 120s. I should actually put back the, because I'm just gonna lose them, and I don't wanna just fucking lose them, that's dumb. I have to unlock that. These are the hard drive caddies. I still wanna be flipping it over and around. Longest 3 minutes ever again, by the way. So that one's got my SSD. This one's gonna be empty, and these two are just gonna be empty. It's just more steel to be carrying around. That's it. Super convenient if you ever needed to like hide something. I don't like that. That one actually strips or feels stripped. Okay, so now I'm just left with one extra thing. We live in the United States. Oh, I live in the United States. Y'all live where y'all live. Senpai brand, they're gonna fit down here, like on the glass. We'll see, I have like 180 million stickers. I'm living in the US. No, skip. Wow, it's actually detecting my Wi-Fi networks, even though I didn't put the antennas on. I don't have internet. Oh, how do I do this with this? Yeah. Ethernet not connected. I don't have internet. Just a full setup with Microsoft account. Continue with limited setup. I'll do the Microsoft account thing later. Now, who's going to use this PC? So now this is important. I guess this would be Z. Because that was Z Gaming. I have to rename my old computer from Z Gaming and move into the center bit. Now it goes from Z Gaming to Z home theater PC, which is at one of my home theater PCs on my CRT TV. So this will be back to my gaming. This is my workstation. I don't know what I should call this. Also, I fucked up. That fucking temperature probe is just hanging there, right there, and it could just fall into the fan. It's great. I should have thought of this beforehand. Z2021 build. Nah, that's stupid. It's not who's using this. Zeos Pantara. I could always change the name later, right? Right? Create a super memorable password. It's called on. Okay, things that I don't need. Choose my privacy settings. No. No. No, I don't want a tailored experience. I don't want an advertising ID. I don't want inking and typing, and I don't want you to find my device. No, we're good. We're good with none of those things. La Cortana, not now. Just get into Windows. Hi. Jesus Christ, it's so fucking expensive. This might take several minutes. This is going to be hilarious if it doesn't, because 5900 XT and all the other things. Or 1500X. Everything's got an X after it. When is everything going to have a Z after it? RGB, doing RGB things. I hate it. It makes me want to vomit. At least the graphics card is just white. It's just Radeon 6800 XT XFX. Done. We getting any... We're barely moving any air. It's just everything's at like a snail's crawling pace. So yeah, I have 3 pieces of this to peel off. This vertical strip, this, and then the side here. And then we'll be good. It is actually taking several minutes. I'm kind of upset. I was kind of hoping it would be like, oh, almost there. And then we're here. So that's it. How long will that take? Because I did no work when the camera was off. When the camera battery died, I just walked, changed the battery, took a leak, got it. And when Dan showed up, we kind of got distracted and I shut it off. So you could remove 4 minutes, maybe. Maybe later, I don't want to edge. So that's it. We are here and we are task manager, more details, performance. Let's see what kind of cores we have. Uptime is 5 minutes. So it's actually been in Windows for 5 minutes. Yeah, 1% utilization, 4.1 gigahertz, 130 press, 12 cores, 24 logical processors. Virtualization is disabled. Hyper-V support is enabled. We've got 64 megs of L3, 6 megs of L2, base speed. There's actually why are we overclocking? Why is it pushing the overclock higher to be there? Our memory is out of 64 gigs. It's like, nah. It's just like, nah. And yeah, our SSDs are in place, and that's it. I think the most important thing right now is to get a waifu on the background. I think we've had enough waifus here that I don't have to go through the effort of doing that. But you know, you never know with this shit. So yeah, now new computer. So this will be the computer, for those of you who don't know why I built a new computer. When I record video, I have to encode all the video to a smaller size because I only have 40 megabits upload here. If you only have 40 megabit upload, you have to compress the video files more, and that takes more time and energy. So this is going to be my video compression Extremo box on top of being my VR box for the basement. And so that's it. That's what its job is. Sit there, play games, and when I'm not playing games, encode videos. And when I'm not doing either of those things, you know, internet shit. Subscribe to Princess Pasta constantly. Just unsubscribe and resubscribe. And unsubscribe and, you know, I have no internet, so I can't do anything else. This is literally it. Ready? We're gonna do MS Paint. Paint. Boom. I will draw an anime waifu real quick. Something with big old honkers. Hold still, you're perfect. So let's see, those are they're like that. And then her hips are like there and then down. And then her armpit is there and it's out and up. And then we've got it's like that, but then this one comes in. And then the other one, it goes down and it's big. And then armpit goes up. This is it. This is what I got this for. I am an artist now. Respect me and my art. Where's her? Oh, she's got a whole... Wait. All right, I fucked up. And now it's not safe for work. Anyway, welcome to my new computer. I'm glad to be here. I'm definitely going to save changes to that. I'm going to put it right in pictures. And I'm going to call it boobs. We're done. So all I'm going to do after this is out, I'm going to bring this down my basement. I will peel off this. I know you want me to peel off all the thing right now. Let's do it now. No. I'm not a psychopath, because I'm going to be manhandling this thing all the way down into the basement. And once it's in there and up on the fucking shelf, I'm going to go shh, peel all the plastic off, and we'll be good to go. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. For however long this was, 3 hours. Went together real smooth. There was a couple little like, oh, where's this piece? But nothing that was like world ending. I actually have to clean this aluminum. That's been handled too much. I like the case. I don't know how you would fit it without the XL case. Because, I mean, we are touching the outside with basically, that is touching almost. And then the card. And then if I didn't have that free space back here for like I guess the cards and stuff would just be on the front. Because, I mean, I didn't need much space for the power supply, wherever that would go. I like how the sun, by the way, is now coming through this. Can I rotate this while it's running? I probably can. There we go. Oh, God, the dust. Lots of dust from sitting over there. See all these smudges and shit? All on the plastic I'm gonna peel off. So yeah, no, we're good. In fact, I'm gonna take a picture of this for the thumbnail because I just remembered I need to do that. So let me put this back a little bit. And I love how I have a pink goddamn cable here, because that's what all the gamer bros are doing. I will feature the screwdriver, and whatever picture I take will have the waifu in the background, whichever one it decides to stop on. I guess it's kind of like spoilers once you do it when the thumbnail shows. I'm gonna run out of room probably in a half hour, but I mean, we're done. So it's been a couple years. Maybe I'll build another one of these. Maybe I'll give one away on stream. Woo! If you watch to the end and you're not already a patron or subscribe star, probably gonna get to see this video early, even though it really has no bearing on like things going in and out of stock. Real important with computer shit. So check those out. See these types of videos early. Participate in yard sales. Hi-Fi Guides in the Hi-Fi Guide forum. There is no PC building section, but there probably should be, because Hi-Fi Guides should have a forum for everything. Discord, Telegram, all those social media. Thank you for joining me in my house. It's a lovely place to work and live, and I appreciate everyone who supports me in the efforts to bring you the waifus and this sort of shit. So we're moving on. I'm moving on. I think Princess Pasta's probably done streaming. So she streamed for 2 hours, and I started at the beginning. Yeah, she'll be done. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Everything linked in the description. I'll pick one waifu. I don't know. There's been so many good ones. I'll pick one. It'll be in the description, and I'll link to pixiv.net, and you can go search out it'll probably be under wallpapers because I cropped all 9:16. But yeah, no, we're done. I'm done. You're done. Thank you. We're Zeos, and I'll see you in 4 more years. And there she sits. Oh, when I figured out that there was a Republic of Gaming certified logo on the side, so I replaced that with Senpai certified. There you go. My 7 Hearts card. I have to turn off RGB. I also have to unplug the VR headset because it's not outputting to the monitor upstairs through the HDMI, because I was using that as the primary thing, and it has to be all installed. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any drivers yet, but now it's here. We're happy. I'm happy. You're happy. It doesn't fit on the shelf by like a knuckle and a half, but I hung off this shelf, so I trust it. I trust the rust. If the rust went away, it would just slide down, but we're good. Rust and brackets and wood and glass, and I'll see you down here for streaming sometimes, and then, you know, we'll do some cool shit. And this is the computer, by the way. But at the end of the video, it's now the 20th, and it's a couple days later, and I ordered the 120mm fans, Noctuas, linked in the description, that came with bumpers, and it came with only 4 of each color, but since I ordered 2, I got 8, so I have 8 blue silicone bumpers on the rear fan and 8 red silicone bumpers on the front fan. So now we're going push, 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 and I have a video that I took in the basement. I haven't adjusted that key. So there's one more modification that happened. I don't want to explain it.
Back of the computer, added 120mm
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
Oh,
I would also, had I known what was going to happen here as far as airflow, I would have removed that metal grill and by cutting it the fuck out. And it would have allowed it, because I'm just pushing air completely through this cooler and into that fan and then out. So why have any metal blocking 40% of the pathway anyway? I would just removed it because it doesn't matter to me.
The bracing from the 140, put it on this 120.
Yeah, the actual little metal clips that you used to clip that fan in worked on the 120. They just clipped right over. Fantastic system there, Noctua. And
so that actually just clips straight in. And it fits over the RAM. RAM's down there. Now I don't get to see the RGB of the RAM, which is a benefit.
Yep.
And then I did a thing.
Yeah, okay. So this is the top 140mm fan. And I never installed, I know you're all probably yelling throughout the entire video, I've been never installing the graphics card supports, which involve you taking two of the motherboard things and putting little risers on them and then a bridge. And then there was little dinky 3 3/4 inch metal L brackets. You're supposed to put a piece of rubber on. It's supposed to hold the graphics card up. Well, even if I would have known to put those in, I don't think that would have been a good enough solution to hold the graphics card. So what I've done here is
elastics and this bar from a light and a threaded rod that you can see right there is just a threaded rod going through there. I'm supporting my graphics card with an adjustment thing like on a pair of pants.
Yeah, no, I've completely...
That's the best way to fucking do it. So I could actually adjust that if it decides to...
So there's a good pause of the entire system. So the 140 that's mounted to the top with screws, the 4 bottom holes are just open holes. So I took a piece of shock cord, Zeos, link shock cord in the description if you make it this far. And you just cut it, you put it through the hole, you tie a knot, and it won't come through. So I made a loop. I went through one and then through the other. And then this metal bracket here...
You know, tighten up.
That metal bracket there is actually from a 10-watt LED light that it fell apart and I had it. So it's just a bracket like that, and I bent it apart a little bit, and it happened to fit around the graphics card. And that part of the graphics card, the actual circuit board ends about there. So the rest of this 2.5 inches is just heatsink. And then where the heatsink ends, there's still shroud, this metal shroud around it. And so there was a perfect hole straight through the graphics card that this metal shroud is going over. So it's completely solid as far as structure. So I managed to get that bracket completely over it with minimal just bending. And then I found a piece of threaded rod with a lock nut on it. There's nothing on the other end of it. I just lined it up and went whoop right through the graphics card. There's now a metal bracket, so basically there's a handle that'll flop up and down. And I fed that.
Tighten this up. So that's just gonna you know.
Hold on, I have a not safe for work playing card in my computer because I've had the same not safe for work playing card in my computer for like a decade. There you go. So now this bracket just has a hole in the middle of it for mounting a light, and I feed the elastics through that hole. And then this is one of those, like if I have pajama pants or something that have like the squeeze plastic spring, pull it and let go, and it holds your sweatpants on. So I just have that going through it. So I just pulled tension on it and then let go of it, and it just sort of lifts the card up a little bit, and that's it. So now my card is completely supported in the front, and it's an adjustable amount of tension. So if that starts to sag, or I go in there and I give it like the little push test, and if the card starts to go up and down, and I feel like it's not perfectly floating, I'd always adjust that. So that's very jank. I admit to the jankness of that, but I mean, that's just Zeos, baby. If it doesn't feel like I've done a real custom job, like a maximum PC level thing,
Tighten this up.
to hold my graphics card up, then I don't know if I'm happy with everything.
Yeah. We should be good now.
Like my friend actually yelled at me about the cable management in the case, and like the cable management is like, it comes through, it goes there. I don't know what else you want from me. I guess I could have tried to hidden that thing behind there and come through the little slot. But yeah, no, so that's the end of this video now, officially, where I now have an extra 220mm fans. The side of the case is now permanently on, and I'm supporting my graphics card. So those of you who are worried about me not supporting my graphics card, I support my graphics card. I'm just doing it in a way that seems jank, but it's really brilliant. And that's all that really matters here on Z Reviews, is that everything that seems jank turns out to be brilliant. And I'll see you in 2 days.